Hello.
Hey, look
What's
where
going
he brought
on?
me from. We made
A
it.
mighty long
We made
What's
it.
way.
good,
Yes,
y'all?
that part. Ooh,
I
Lord.
am cracking up because let me
Man,
tell you guys, get in here, get in here,
Yes.
get in here, people. If you've
Come
been
on
waiting,
in.
come on
sorry
in the
that we
room.
were late.
Yes.
But
Hello,
as you know,
hello.
What's good, everybody?
technical
Woo.
difficulties sometimes just has a mind of their own.
I
Yes.
got my tissue like one of them old church mothers, ready to dab at any second, man. I'm over here sweating.
Man, listen, and you know what? You said the right thing, but it's not even that. It's not even technical difficulties. It's just extra stuff. It's just Lord. It makes me feel like I'm old, and although I am, it
I
ain't
ain't know
that
it,
bad. Like I can't get my computer just to behave
man.
for a
Listen,
good,
You
few
know what?
minutes.
I'm 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 aging. I don't even know how to work mines half the time, and I work on this every day. I be forgetting
Right.
stuff like, wait a minute, how do I F7 this?
Not F7.
How do I get that middle finger right there to work? You know, it's a form of
Listen,
aging.
this is how you know. This is how you know you getting up in age when you be looking at stuff on your laptop or your keyboard that you ain't ever looked at before. What is number locked? What
Yeah,
is that?
concentrating.
What
Look
that
like
um,
this.
do? What function? What is
listen.
this function key? I ain't never seen that
W-
before.
See,
Man,
but it's also good to have one of these young people in the house with you because
yes,
I'll call Nas in a second. Hey, come here.
right,
How
man.
you do this?
so
Ooh,
he can show you.
Yeah.
Well, happy Thursday, guys.
Woo.
happy
What's
Happy
up, y'all?
Thursday.
Thursday. We are here. We made it. It is
Did you miss me?
April.
Did you miss me? Did you miss me?
It's April 11th, right? I have to look at yeah.
Yes,
It's
yes, it
April
is.
the
Yes, it
11th. I
is.
Yes.
Yes, it
mean,
is.
we're close to summer. Like the year
It's
is
flying.
I don't
flying.
even understand. I don't understand.
I had to ask Michael the other day. I'm like, "What's today?" Like, I can't
I do
keep
that all
up.
the time. I'll be like, is today
I can't.
Tuesday?
I can't keep up. I'm
Time
like,
is flying.
what is going on?
And that eclipse that came through here and it just took over the whole universe.
Pretty
I
much.
know.
You know,
I was gonna ask you guys, did you see it?
no.
Let me explain something to you. I had every intention. Y'all know I'm a ginormous nerd.
Yeah,
Okay. I try
yeah.
to hide it real well, being that I am black. I have ways to code switch.
Yeah.
But I had every intention to get up and view the eclipse, but the way my body is set up
I know that's
and the
right.
way this eclipse was supposed to be happening here on the west coast, there was no way. Our eclipse time was supposed to be between 8:45 and 9:30. No. No, thank you. I'm good. I
Wait,
enjoyed everyone else's
AM or PM?
posts. AM.
Oh no.
AM.
We wouldn't have been able to sing it anyway.
Look, Marina yawning already right now. See?
Mm-mm. No.
Baby, we always need a nap. Ain't no way I'm getting up to
To
no.
look,
And look,
hey, to go
let's not
look at the
mention
sky. We looking at the sky.
let's not
Right.
mention naps because I am not a nap taker, but I
Oh
have
no.
friends that are avid nap takers. I'm
Man,
just
Mhm.
so mad at them. I'm like, what is going on? But I'm not a
But
nap
see,
taker. But I did not
mhm.
catch the eclipse.
Okay.
Wasn't
There were a lot
yeah.
of people saying a lot of different things, and the one reason why I was okay with not catching it,
Yeah.
because it is a phenomenon. It is like a not a once in a lifetime. It happens every 7 years, but it is the fact that this was the one that was over North America. And that's not going to happen again, I believe, for another,
For 400 years.
yeah, some crazy amount of
wait,
time.
really?
Yeah. But Michael
Hmm.
said, I think I hear about an eclipse every other week.
But that part, that part.
Hey, back in the day, you used to can go buy an eclipse. You remember the drink? the eclipse
Oh,
Ooh,
shit. So
wow.
I was buying one every
Wow.
day.
All right. She said, I have an eclipse. Let me just drink this drink and close my eyes. I eclipse
look,
everything. I
look
eclipse the
what
phone calls.
people were dressed up. I don't
Yeah,
know if you guys saw the news, but people were dressed up. Some families had T-shirts. They like really went out and had T-shirts
they
made
they
for
weren't
the
African
No.
American, were
eclipse.
they?
Wow. I was seeing,
Right?
what was your question,
What you
Bucket?
say?
I said they weren't
Fam?
African American, were they?
Leave them people alone.
No.
Would you please leave them people alone? Let them enjoy the eclipse. This is a once in a
I'm
lifetime
crying.
experience.
No.
Okay.
Nah. Nah.
I saw
The whole
cakes.
family,
There were
the whole
cakes
family
being
was dressed.
made.
Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
god. Okay,
I
y'all.
mean,
I'm sorry.
it's a time. I think
No,
it's great
Brittany.
because
I just can't stop laughing and smiling right now. I don't know where I am right now. So I'm looking at y'all laughing and smiling. I
Oh
ain't
my
yeah.
hiding
god.
nothing. I'm just enjoying the ride. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Brittany. No, for
Let
real.
me just say this and we'll jump
Go
into the
ahead. Go
show.
ahead.
I
Go ahead.
think that people being able to enjoy themselves outside
What
of
they
their
like.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, outside of their phone. Although everybody and their mama took a picture and posted it on social
In
media
video. Yeah.
and video, I think it was great because people were able to step away from technology and kind of be in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's really the great thing. Unfortunately, I missed that, but because we're in such a tech dominant part of
World
existence, I
now.
didn't
Yeah.
really miss anything.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
because I
almost
saw it.
overwhelmed with the
I looked
amount
at it
of
earlier.
photos and
Because you
videos that
posted
are
a
out there.
TikTok, right? You posted
I
some on
posted
TikTok.
several.
You
Yeah.
posted several
Really?
TikToks, and
Yes.
I saw that, and I saw a lot of people. Oh, this is how my mom and dad said they used to capture the, in the
Mm-hmm.
glass with the water. And then
Hmm.
I heard on the news today that someone was talking about, or did I hear on TikTok? I don't know. I can't. I get confused. But I think it was TikTok either the news. But the lady was like, all the people that had on those glasses went blind. I don't know. People are just so
I
stupid.
am done. Shut up. Are you kidding me?
I'm here for TikTok, really.
Well, wait a minute.
It's funny
Let me tell
though.
y'all what I did. It was around, look, y'all, it was around like 12 noon. My
Hmm.
dumb self ran outside and looked up at the sun. I said, is that the eclipse?
No. Once again,
I,
your
I
eyes
was
gonna
walking
go
around like this
eclipse.
for the next 5 minutes, like I can't see
Oh
nothing.
Oh
my
I done
my
god.
looked up
gosh,
at the
that's
sun and I
hilarious.
was like, I can't look, I can't see.
Okay, okay, for real. The eclipse is gonna have us in the chokehold, y'all.
Yes, but I mean, it's a very big deal.
It is.
It was extremely phenomenal. If you were in the what they call the area of totality, so that's
Yeah,
pretty much anything in the South and on the East Coast. Unfortunately
yeah.
for us, it said like 75 to 80% um was going to be covered by the moon, but I can't even imagine,
I I I didn't see it. I didn't
yeah.
see it. Okay.
I haven't seen any videos from anyone in LA
Right.
specifically
Yeah,
either,
me
so
either. If
I
you
don't know.
guys are in LA and you have videos of the eclipse
Please
and
post
Send
you
it
it.
to us. Let us know. Send
you
it to me.
experience some, great moment, send it to
Hmm.
us and we'll
Yeah,
Yeah.
repost it.
please.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into
Okay.
this show.
Let's get into it.
I know we're all good. We got the jitters off. We got the whatever that was earlier off.
Yeah.
I want to welcome you all to our uh episode 4. Welcome to TMR LA Live Video
Season
Podcast.
3,
Uh,
baby. Yes.
episode 304. It is
Already.
time for me to cross over with special guest Sebastian A. Jones. We have an awesome
Woo-hoo.
episode lined up for you. Hopefully shorter than normal because we tried to expedite some things. We have a pre-recorded interview with Sebastian that we're gonna showcase
Yes.
a little later on.
I'm pumped for
But
that.
at this time, I'm going to go ahead and move us along. I'm going to introduce us as your host for the evening. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome aboard. Make sure you got your snacks and your whatever is going to quench your thirst. We're going to be here
Your
for a
water,
little bit. Your
your
water or
water.
whatever you
I
prefer,
got a little
no
Kool-Aid from
judgment.
Taco
Right,
Bell.
no judgment. Whatever you feel like
It's
quenching your thirst
Thursday.
with.
It's
It's
Thursday, close to the
Thursday. We almost
weekend.
there.
So
We
Yeah,
almost
almost.
there.
if
So
you got
whatever
something
it
in
is,
your
that's your
cup,
business. Uh-huh.
hmm hmm
I am
Right.
your host, B Baby, better known as
Baby.
Barit. And to my right is my favorite lady, Miss Boss
My
Lady, Miss
yeah.
Marina Monet. And down
hi.
below both of us, we have Mr. Sam Peoples, the man who makes the
Hey,
show. He keeps us safe in these
hey,
internet
Right.
streets, and
oh,
he is the
hey,
handsomest co-host I've ever
hey,
seen.
Well, I got
yeah.
I ain't got the top right, but you know I do what I do, baby.
You all right. You all
Yeah,
right.
you
You
good. You
still
good. You
fine.
good.
You still
Uh-huh.
fine.
Hey.
So
Okay.
thanks once again for joining us for tonight. Like I said, we have a nice little show planned for you tonight. We're going to
Yeah.
catch up on this month. We are in the month of April.
Already.
Crazy enough, we've had at least one or two holidays or
We are
special events in
11
terms
days into
of,
the month of
yeah,
April.
we're 11 days into the
Wow.
month. But we've had Easter, we've had Passover, we've had Palm Sunday, we've had
Before
what
Ah,
else? What a Ramadan, we've had, oh my goodness, there's so many things that happened at the end of March and the beginning of this month,
yeah, in the
April.
beginning of April. Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm extremely
Yeah.
overwhelmed.
did we
Yeah.
have Passover yet?
Yes, we better had.
I'm,
Good job.
I'm not about to do this with you. And you know if I was on the phone with you, I ain't gonna.
Right.
I'm not about to do this with
We
you.
better had.
That was a joke at people. I was joking.
Don't be offended. Do not be.
Yeah.
Laughing me
Okay.
over.
Anywho.
You
So
can
let's go
imagine
ahead
it.
and
They can
go
imagine
ahead.
how our conversations go, like when we're not
When we're not. When
when
we're
we're
not on
not
the
on
live.
air.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Brittany. Okay,
We
Brittany.
are a hoot
Okay,
and
Okay,
a
Brittany.
half.
guidance.
This
So
way.
Brittany.
let's corral ourselves. We gonna get through this show, y'all. I promise. So we're gonna move right into our current industry news. We
Yeah.
got some stuff to talk about, y'all. Now, one of the things
Oh
that I think is
Lord.
so awesome, the month of April has a few things that are celebrated through their month.
Yep.
Yes.
But first up, we're gonna go ahead and get into National Poetry Month or National Poetry part of the month of April. It is celebrated this month, all month long. And the great thing is, we have a few folks that we've come across
Mm-hmm.
during the show that are
Yes.
poets. But I also wanted to take a moment to highlight some actors who are also giving their talent in another way, which is poetry. So just getting right into that. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, why we have National Poetry Month,
Yeah.
and who sponsored it and all that jazz. Um, let's see, I'm gonna put James Franco up there, but just so you know, National Poetry Month was created in 19, I believe, it's 69. Let me pull up my notes, y'all.
Hold
Make sure
on.
I'm
So
saying the right thing. Yes.
I didn't know James Franco was a published poet.
Wow.
Right. Yes, he is.
I
Yes,
did
he
not
is.
know that.
Mm-hmm.
James.
Yes.
What a way to show or be versatile in your talents,
Right.
right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because I'm not only this, I am also this, and I love
Right.
that about creators that are not just stuck, like, or put themselves in a box. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if this is like what you love to
Mm-hmm.
do that as well. I love that. I did not know that James Franco was a poet. I want to do
Yes.
my little spiel on poetry.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, go for it.
in the fifth grade, I think I started doing "Hey Black Child," which is a poem, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the president of the YWCA, you may hear me mention the YWCA a lot because
Right.
I grew up with this organization and I learned a lot and became, a public leader and all those things, a youth leader and all those things through this organization. But the president of the YWCA introduced me um, to poetry,
Mm.
as far as writing poetry. Like I was
Gotcha.
already reciting poems, But to write poetry, she encouraged me to write, and I'll never forget, she came to me and handed me, I think I still have this poem book. I keep all my journals and entry books. But she handed it to me, and I started writing poetry immediately.
Mm,
And I still have that book, and sometimes I still do. If a poem comes to me, I'll write it down and note it. And so, but yeah, I was introduced to poetry as a child,
Yeah.
and
mm,
it stuck with me. So to hear, poets and James Franco, I'm just shocked, and it made me
right.
happy. So now I'm gonna go purchase his book of poems.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. That's really
Yeah,
cool. So
Yeah.
thank you.
he's highly acclaimed. There's some reviews of his. I believe he has at least one. There's maybe two that he has published. Um,
Hmm.
I can't think of what the second book is called, but he has his one of his first ones is called Directing Herbert White,
Yes.
and this is one of his poems
Mm.
here on the screen, and it's really interesting because it seems like the entire book is, of course, because of the title, is about an actor and they're navigating the world and also navigating the worlds of acting, and it's really interesting. So this is one of the monologues, if you will,
Yeah.
poems, monologues
Yeah.
from the actor's perspective. It says, I am a nocturnal creature, and I am here to cheat time. You can
Mm.
see time and exhaustion taking pay from my face.
Wow.
In 15 years, my sleep will be death. I'll go
Mm.
like the rest, but I'll have played all the games and all the roles. And this is from a poem from Directing Herbert White called Nocturnal. So I thought that was
Mm.
really, really interesting and very cool that like I said, actors seek to express themselves in different
In
ways, and
different
we all
ways.
have the
Yeah.
ability to express ourselves in different ways.
Yes.
And it's nice to know that creativity doesn't have to be boxed in, especially for
Yes.
folks who are actors and
Yes.
who
Right.
choose to be in front of the camera. It
I
seems like a lot
agree.
of times, uh, depending on who it is, we as society kind of like say what we want them to do instead of
Yeah.
letting
Instead of.
letting the folks
Hmm.
express themselves how they choose
Hmm.
to. For
Hmm.
example, a good example would be Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey has been the funny man for years and years and years,
Yes. For
and then he
years.
started doing drama, and he was actually a little better, and like he was really good at playing dramatic
Doing drama.
characters.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
came out, decades even further down the line in career, that he's a prolific artist. He's an actual great painter.
Yeah.
Um, and that was pretty, you know, awe inspiring too, to see his actual personal artwork, literal artwork.
I don't think
And
I've
he's
ever
really good.
seen any of his artwork,
I
but
never. Yeah.
Mm.
it surprised me when I found out that Kanye is also an artist. Well, I learned that
Oh, I
earlier
didn't know that.
on.
Chris Brown also.
Hmm.
Chris Brown.
Oh,
Oh, I
He,
wow.
heard
he
Chris. I
did
heard
too.
Chris Brown was
Yeah.
too, but
Wow. Okay.
Kanye went to art school, and that's actually what he was. Well, I don't know per se. He didn't tell me, but from hearing and reading things,
Okay.
that's what his love was. You
Got
know,
it.
that's what he was going to do. But of course, he ventured off into music. But yeah, that's his thing too.
Yeah.
But now his daughter also, I don't know if you've seen any of her work. Some people say, "Oh yeah, she didn't do that," but I don't know. Maybe her
Yeah.
dad has.
He has talent.
He's
Yeah.
Yeah, he has the talent, so maybe. But yeah, I like when not just actors, but I hate saying actors because it's just like putting them in a box, but
Hmm.
they're creatives
Yes.
and they have like multiple creativities to
Hmm.
them, and so that I love that, and he's able to express himself through poetry, and like you said, Jim Carrey through painting.
Mhm.
And Kanye, I don't know if he still does that,
Mhm.
but yeah,
I mean, it's very, very cool. I just think,
it
you
is.
know, being able to express yourself and be free to express yourself however you choose
Yes,
to
Yeah.
in a artistic way is a part of living, and then a part of centering yourself, because we're
yes,
often overwhelmed with other things, other people, other people's drama,
yep.
work, and everything else that comes, you know, that goes in between
That,
us waking
yep.
up and going to sleep, you know.
Yes,
There's very few moments that we have to capture where we can kind of like outlet a lot of the stuff we internalize
yes,
during the day, and I think
yeah,
that's really, really cool. So I want to move along and
yeah.
highlight one other person. So we don't know James Franco, but I thought
No,
it
we
was
don't.
cool that he was an actor that does write poetry and is published and everything. But I wanted to highlight someone we do know and we have had on the show.
Yeah.
Um, Franceli Chapman is also
Oh yeah.
a either I can't remember if she said she is published or is about to be published. Either way,
Nice.
that's exciting.
Yeah, it is
That's super
exciting.
duper exciting.
Yes. And she's also an
Francelli,
actress.
yeah, she's an
Accurate.
actress.
Yeah.
Francelli was
Motivational
on
speaker.
the
She's
show
everything.
season one.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, she was on our show season one. Uh, she was on an episode in season one with Prophet. What's the Prophet's last name?
Oh, what is Prophet last name?
Young
Hold
man
on.
named Prophet.
Yeah.
He was a child
For that
actor,
age that
and I loved it because his name is Prophet, and then Francelli is a preacher. I just
right.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
love the I
Yeah.
love the fact that they were on the same
I was
episode.
just about to say that. Ain't she
That was
some chick?
divinely orchestrated. So yeah, so Miss Chapman, Sally, as I love to call her, she has been writing poetry as long as I've known her, which is a few years now.
Oh,
And
nice.
I didn't know she had been like collecting and keeping her poems together, and it seems like now she's about to publish her own book of poems, and I
Uh-huh.
thought that was so cool. And
Yeah,
then
that's
she
cool.
does drop her poetry on her Instagram.
Yeah, and I
I don't
follow
know
her.
if it's
So,
weekly or bi-weekly, but
yeah.
I know she'll let me know. She'll send a video, or like she might do the voiceover for it and have some visuals paired with it. But she's fantastic. She's done live poetry. She's been a part of other readings of poetry. And she really loves the craft, and I thought that was so cool that she, once again, someone we know personally, and has found another outlet amongst all of the other
All the other
really
things. Yes.
extremely amazing things that she does.
Yes,
um
she does. And his last name is Bowden.
Bowden,
Prophet
but I didn't
Bowden.
want to say,
Yeah.
because I knew it started with a B. I just didn't want to
Yes,
say
it's Prophet Bowden.
Bowden or whatever I was thinking. But
Yes.
yes. So I'm gonna let us hear one of
Yeah, let's hear it.
Francelli's most recent poem she dropped on her Instagram. So
All
let's
right.
Okay,
check it
let's
out.
hear it.
April. The showers that came washed away the pain of the second, the day of my father's birth. You see, the memories of good times mixed with the bad times, mixed with the sometimes I wish he was here. The showers continue to the 8th. No one on earth can ever take my mama's place. May these showers bring forth my flowers, tulips. April. I cherish the day, keys to my place, my brother's face, a lover's taste, and all the other memories this month brings that I cannot erase.
Mm,
That was good.
I
Yes, yes,
love
yes,
that.
yes.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I follow
she's
her on social
amazing.
media, so I get a taste of everything that she posts and that she do.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
saying
that's good. That's
it's
good.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I follow Sally too. And I love when she posts.
yeah.
Fantastic. So
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. She does her poems. She also does I think it's called Puzzles and Preach. I think she
Yes.
does that
Puzzles and Preach.
some
Yes.
Mondays nights.
Yes.
And that's something else I never really thought about as an art form, but she puts puzzles together, and then she'll frame them. So that's
Let's
pretty
Yeah.
cool too.
Yeah, I
So
like
she's
that.
just an amazing person,
let's
and
find
I
them.
wanted to shout
You
her
know?
out. So once again, Franceli Chapman,
Friends
you can
Kelly, we
find her
love
on,
you.
We love you, boo.
yes, social media under the same name, and yeah, check her out. Check her out. All right,
Yeah.
moving right along, y'all. We're going
April.
to keep it pushing. Let's go ahead and get into some real heavyweight stuff. We gotta keep our tabs and keep our ties to um what's
What's
happening in
going
the
on?
world.
Yeah,
Let's
what's going on
Unfortunately,
in the
not
world?
everything is positive. So, I don't know if you all heard the news, but we lost a legend today.
oh Lord.
Uh,
Oh
Some people
Lord.
might say he's a bunch of other things, but we're gonna keep it
Well,
Are you okay over
nice.
there?
Yeah.
yeah, I got
You
the
okay?
old lady.
Huh?
Man,
he
You
white
got
ain't
this.
cloth
nobody
out.
told me nothing. Ain't nobody called me and told me nothing. When he died, nobody told me nothing.
Listen,
Lord,
I didn't. Okay, go ahead, Brittany. I'm sorry.
OJ done
I,
died.
I you know, this is not the first gentleman has passed. It's just I'm gonna just talk to the universe for a second. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of losing
Okay.
our legends like this. Like,
Yes.
come on now. Like, we
Yeah.
lost Junior, Gossett Junior recently.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
we lost. I don't know his name, but I know his face, and he was in John Wick, and he ended up being in Regina King's latest movie.
What's the older gentleman that
Um,
passed away too, like last month?
Who are you talking about?
The bald head guy, older
mhm.
guy, 87. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, I have. I
he
have
played in
to
Roots,
find it.
and he played in the
Yeah, I
Room.
just mentioned him,
What's his name again?
Gossett Junior.
Are you talking about Lance Reddick?
No,
Mm-mm.
but she didn't say the whole name, so that's probably why I missed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. And it's just it's one after the next after the next. I wasn't expecting uh any of them, honestly, and it was kind of heartbreaking to see the gentleman who was just in Regina's movie um after finding out that he had passed. It's weird. It's a weird, it's I don't know, it's a weird, like, for example, Michael K. Williams, he passed right before the end. I think he passed either right before or right after the end of um Lovecraft Country. And it was just like seeing
Oh,
him in stuff after he
yeah,
passed
it's
was,
weird.
it's kind of jarring and it's a little weird. And,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, he's so great. He's so good. But you
Yeah,
won't be able to see him in anything, after this. And so,
it is the weirdest thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
tying
it is
this
the weirdest thing.
into, the passing of OJ,
Yeah.
we all, I know for me, I can only speak for me. I had hope that after the life in front of the camera and the speculation and the accusation and just the life of ridicule he had to live in for the rest of his life, literally, it wouldn't be so abrupt
Right.
or
Well, I mean,
unexpected.
it was. I mean, it really was because he really didn't. Well, between him being in jail and him getting out of jail,
Right.
um, I don't know how his life was, um, and if he was dealing with the illness, cancer, then how was his life really?
Oh.
Dealing with that. So after being accused of what, and then going to jail for 9 years.
Mhm.
So then getting out and now dying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how much of a good life did he experience
Right.
after
That's a good
that
question.
whole, accusation?
Well, life is
Um,
what we make it.
yeah,
Mhm.
We all have ups and downs, goods and bads, but when you get that breaking point, then you learn to maneuver with life. So I hope in this case, before he passed, I hope he found peace with himself and
Mhm.
enjoy life while he could. But
Yeah,
for the longest, I didn't know he was sick. So when I heard OJ passed away, it kind of shocked me. Like, whoa, wow, from cancer, because
yeah. I didn't. I
it ain't
never.
like I needed to know, but
Right,
it's like you would
right.
think that that would have been out there before he passed. That
Mhm.
Yeah,
because his
I would
life,
think so because
yeah,
most of the
because he lived
time,
his life in the public eye. So
yeah,
you know,
most of the time, like on the news or social media, even will announce somehow, some way when
yeah,
actors, just like when Celine Dion. I didn't know Celine Dion had the stiff um person syndrome. I didn't know until I saw on social media. So I'm saying
Mm.
to going back to OJ, I would have thought that someone would have announced it at least,
yes.
but I
Mhm.
guess they wanted to keep it under wraps, which is their they can do
The
that. If
choice
his
for sure.
Yeah.
family, yeah, that's
Yeah.
their choice. If his family didn't want that out, and if he didn't want
Mhm.
it out to the public, then so be it. I totally understand it, but we're so used to hearing things, like immediately through
Yeah,
social media because that's the
Mhm.
world we live in. So
Mhm.
when you hear like, "Oh, he had cancer," it's like, "Wait, what?" Like I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, was we really supposed to know that
No, we
and
weren't.
I saw something on social media. I believe it was Instagram. Someone made a statement and said, "Now, did he really die of cancer? Like, did y'all
though?
kill his
Oh
hand and
Lord,
say it was cancer, or
oh Lord,
So people are always gonna have some type of speculation.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Yeah,
you know,
As off the radar, he was living his, latter years. I would be remiss to say, "Oh yeah, I believe totally this is a conspiracy and he's now off on an island somewhere." Like
yeah. No,
like
I can't.
no, that's crazy.
I
You
can't.
know, the best or the another example I think that kind of speaks to after having a life so much in the public eye under, public scrutiny and speculation and everything, it would be Tina Turner. Tina Turner,
Mm,
she left the country,
yeah,
to be able
she
to
left the
live
country to live.
in her own,
Yeah,
I want to say reclusiveness, right? I don't know if that's a word,
hmm,
but
yeah,
she was not in the public eye. After she left the country, we knew she was alive because every once in a while somebody would do a expose
yeah,
on her or go interview her. But
yeah.
if it wasn't for that, it was like, well, she's somewhere living her best life and that ain't none of my business,
And
and that's
look, they
pretty
don't
much
have to
it.
check in with us. Who are
Right,
we?
they
Right?
don't. They don't. We
Who
love
are
them.
we?
We love them for all
Who
of the
are we?
artistry that they've given us over the years. But after so many decades of doing that, they deserve the right
they
to
want to be
just
regular. They want to be
Yeah, they
sail
want to
off into the
a
live
real
life
sunset.
person.
quietly.
Yes,
They
Mm-hmm.
want to live life quietly.
yes.
And
Absolutely.
I get it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad for them not announcing it. If
Yeah,
his family was aware of what was going on, that's all that matters. But
that's truly,
we,
truly.
another legend is gone.
Another.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I hope at whatever stage he was in his battle with cancer, I hope he went peacefully. I hope it wasn't painful or, where he was undergoing a lot of issues and complications.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, we
Some
we
people
got
don't
another
feel
one we
like
got to
that.
send off. I
Some
know.
people don't feel like that. I know Caitlyn Jenner said good riddance.
Ugh, you know what?
And a
Bless her
lot of people
confused.
came
Look,
And
listen. Bless her
somebody also
confused
probably
heart.
said
That's okay.
net.
a lot of people came for Caitlyn after that. So anywho.
So
Okay.
yeah. So with
A
that,
terrible person. I'm sorry, yo.
yeah, I agree that ain't right. So yeah, so saying farewell to a legend. We got a biopic out of his life, and I don't know how he felt about that.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting kind of like tie over crossover. One of the last jobs that I did as a background actor before I left in front of the camera, because I did a
Hmm.
small. Y'all know I did a small stint as a background actor.
Yeah.
was the OJ story that was on Fox or FX,
Oh,
excuse me.
really?
Yeah, so that was kind of like when I heard that he passed, it was kind of like, oh, like
Yeah.
you're on set so long, and then you got these people
Yeah.
playing these characters, and you kind of feel like you know them or get to know them through this
Yeah,
script
yeah.
or through this
Is
story, and
that
you're
the
like,
one with Cuba?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
Cuba and Angela Bassett's husband, Courtney B. Vance was in that. I believe
Yeah.
Sarah
Yeah.
Paulson was in
That was
that.
good. That was good.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
it was very good. So I like I said, I hope that he went to rest comfortably, and that his family finds some semblance of normalcy. Maybe
Yeah.
now that it can move into a different space, even further out of the
Even
public
further.
eye.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wish everyone well, and
Yeah. Rest in peace, sir.
salute to a legend, salute to a man who had a heck of a life, like
Heck
a
of
heck of a
a
life.
I had
All
a
right,
lot.
so let's slide out of this grief
Gonna
area and into
slide out of this
some
and
messiness.
slide into
slide
some
to the
more
We
mess.
left.
gonna we still human, y'all.
We gonna slide out of
As
this.
much as we just got on Caitlyn Jenner, we gonna do our own little 2-step into some mess. Okay, so
It's not funny. Okay, let me stop laughing.
listen, we talked about
It's
him a
too much
little
to
bit,
say. It's too
but
much to say. I
it's
wish.
getting well out of hand.
Y'all got y'all
Well, you
popcorn?
know what?
No, I'm gonna let one of y'all go first.
Let me go first. I got to
Okay.
say something about
Go
this.
ahead.
My thing is, everywhere I look, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, there is either what is called a meme, an
Mm-hmm.
article, an interview, something about this man, and
Mm-hmm.
it made me think like, wow, P Diddy is that P Daddy, Puff Daddy, Star Daddy, whatever y'all call him. That this man is that important to where he is
Mm-hmm.
on everybody's mind at the same time. To me, like
Mm-hmm.
if we talk about God as much as we talking about P Diddy, the world will be a better place.
Say
No one
that.
said,
Absolutely. You're
no
Say
absolutely
that.
one.
right.
I said P Diddy must be bigger to people than God Himself for them to daily. Now, mind you, right? My thing is right and right is wrong. Wrong is wrong. If he did
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
wrong, he's going to get what's coming to him. But I
Yeah.
don't
Mm-hmm.
want to see him on everything, and that's what bothers me about us. I hate to
Yeah.
take it us, but we're so quick to keep tearing each other down. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
to me, the man is doing it, and then we coming in doing it, and then in a minute we don't have no legends because no one is
No.
perfect, y'all. Don't get me wrong, no one is perfect. We
Yeah.
all make
No one is
we
perfect.
all fall
Yeah,
short. We all have issues, and if our issues is not real, God will reveal and He will chastise us as He see fit. So our
Mm-hmm.
day is
absolutely.
coming. But my thing is, everywhere I turn, it's about Him. We've
Mm.
been to get a new president. Y'all, people ain't even paying attention to that because we're so
Of course
distracted
not.
by
Of
what's
course
going on
they're
with
not.
P Diddy that we not even focus on what the real deal is, and that's how
Yeah.
us as a people get so what's the word I'm trying to use, gagged,
Sidetracked,
sidetracked,
distracted. Mm-hmm.
and what the
Yes.
real issue is because P Diddy is not our issue,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
and
PDD is not
Trump is
is
finna
not
run for
our
president.
issue.
Trump is running for president again, and nobody said nothing because we're so
Mm-hmm.
focused on what's going on with Puff Daddy, Sean Puffy
Mm.
Combs, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where us as our priorities are so messed up. Once
Yeah.
again, if he did wrong, he will get
Mm-hmm.
what's coming to him. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not fenced to get into the
But
field of tearing him down. That's
but
not
we
my
Mm.
don't have nothing to do with it. We
I ain't
don't
got
have
nothing to do
No.
with it. I
nothing
don't
to
know.
do with it.
Everything I'm hearing and seeing is hearsay. I ain't been in that one party.
Not never, not
I ain't
never,
been to
never got
nothing.
an invite.
So ain't
Now,
nobody that's talking been to, and then my thing is also we get all these stories now. What
Mm-hmm.
happened? Some people I heard has been talking about this. This is not nothing new when it comes to Puff Daddy. We've been hearing this since the 90s. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
we've
like
been hearing this for
nothing
a
new.
very long time.
It ain't nothing new. We've been hearing about what he do. What he do is his business. And I just
Mm-hmm.
don't understand how men be so wrapped up in what another man is doing in their own personal time, in their own personal bedroom. I could
Ooh
care less
wee.
who you sleeping with. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That
Mm-hmm.
ain't
Yeah,
nothing to do with me,
but
and it
let
has
me.
nothing to do with you. So
Yeah,
that's
and
fine.
it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't have nothing to do with us. Why are we involved like this? But that goes to show you how. Oh, I don't want to say it like that. How dumb they think we are,
Mm.
and
Okay. Okay.
how ignorant they
Ignorant.
think we are, and
Mm-hmm.
how they feel like we're so consumed with these people that
Celebrities.
are living these glamorous lives. I can't speak for everybody, but my friends, we're not consumed
I can
with hip hop and what's going, not hip hop, not let me say that, but these people, because
the
we love
world.
hip hop, but these
Mm-hmm.
people in their lives. Now, like you
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
said, Bucket, if he's doing wrong, by all means, stick it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you need to do, right?
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
And leave us out of it. I mean, they did us like that with Harvey Weinstein, with all these people. But I want to say on the conspiracy side, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watch a lot of conspiracy, and you use the word distraction. A lot of conspiracy people feel like when the media does like a takedown like this, it is a
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
distraction from us paying attention to what's really going on in the world. And
Yes.
like
Thank you.
things that we really need to be focused on, they
Yes.
distract us with this. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying it's true or not. I don't, you know what I mean?
I
I'm not
can't say
saying
it's
it's
true or
true or
not
not.
because I wasn't there. I don't know what's going on.
No,
But
Mm-hmm.
I'm
all
not
I
saying
know
I'm
is
not
we're gonna
saying
get.
that this is a distraction from something else, but it's a big takedown.
It's
It
a big
is
Mm-hmm.
a takedown, and it's some hands behind it that's
Yes.
doing this, because it was the hands that was watching him do all of this,
yeah,
and
Yes.
now
exactly.
they're revealing what he's been doing for some odd reason.
I saw
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
an interview where someone said, "Whoo, Puff Daddy must have really made someone
Somebody mad.
mad."
He
Mm-hmm.
pissed
Puff Daddy
somebody
makes
off.
just one
Yeah.
somebody mad. And it wouldn't surprise me if a year or two now we say that Puff Daddy done bought the world because it's like, because this is like this is happening for a reason. Now, once
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
again, domestic violence, I hate it. Been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched that as a child, so I have a weakness
of
in a
course.
when it comes
Yeah,
to
Okay.
that part. So if that's what he was doing, then by all means, get him for that. But what he
Yes.
is doing, where you is this hearsay and think say and what he's supposed to say, and come on, world, like
but now
we got to do better.
it's trickling down to the kids now, and
Yes,
Right. Right.
that's
Right. Right.
that's
Right.
that's what's
yeah,
even worse. That hurts the most. My
yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
kids are
no,
being ridiculed for this.
it's a lawsuit
No, it's a
against the son,
lawsuit. The son is
against
being
his,
not convicted, but he's being accused of
yes,
having sexually assaulted someone else. Someone.
yes,
Again,
and drugging her.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Hmm.
Yes, that's in the transcript
Wow.
of the documents.
wow.
Yes,
Well, here's my two
and
cents.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Britt.
I think you are both correct. It isn't any of our personal business.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason why for where we are, what we do, the industry we, work in and live in and want to thrive in, it is important to have this level of clarity is
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of folks and I don't want to qualify it with an age group or a sex or anything. I think
Yeah.
it is important to understand that there is a predatory lifestyle and a predatory existence that really is pervasive in the entertainment
Yeah.
industry.
hmm
Although the
Absolutely.
specifics, the details, the who's may not be important specifically to a broader audience. It really doesn't matter who, but when you are the up and coming singer or you are the prospective new face in the acting
The new
world,
talent.
the
Yeah.
new talent, I do believe it is very important for those folks to be aware of the rooms that they're stepping into. And
Absolutely.
it's interesting because there was a comedian who said we as the black community have always felt like both of you said, we've always felt a particular type of way that wasn't positive about whatever his name is at this point, you
I don't
know,
know. Yeah. I don't
him.
know what it is. We're gonna call him Sean tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All
Listen,
the
let me say this. Let
nicknames.
me say this. Not to be funny, but he said only people who call him Sean is his mama and uh
Well,
Beyonce's
well,
husband, and I don't like people calling me Sean.
well, listen,
So listen,
Sean.
I don't want to call
I,
you anything, sir. I don't want to even know what you're doing at this point. I don't
listen,
care.
I'm calling you Sean. You know how your mama get on you when she mad at you, she call you by your first
Right, right,
I'm your extended cousin, okay, Sean?
right.
And we want you to get your together, okay?
Get
We
it
don't
together.
know. we,
But this is
we
what
want
the
you to get
comedian
it
this is what the
together.
comedian said, and I thought this was such an
Yeah.
interesting perspective. He said, "Black folks always had a concept, or excuse me, always had a idea that he wasn't good. It was because this man became a billionaire, and they announced it, and black people was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting, and then they moved on. Like he was always been a low key villain." But nobody has been able to put their finger on it.
Put their finger on it.
I agree.
And this is, I think, why it's kind of important to know what
That
he's been
goes back to
doing.
Uptown Records days.
Yep.
Yes, right.
Yep.
Once again, I don't personally care about his sexuality or what he's doing at these parties in terms of if it's consenting adults.
Yeah.
If they're going in with the understanding, like, not to bring up another actor who has been accused and has gone to jail for it, but if he's not Cosbying people, then
Yeah.
it's not our business. But
It's
then
not our business. But let
Thank
when
me
you
tell
you.
you.
have
Go
when
ahead.
you
Go
have
ahead.
real quick when you have young folks who are out there and sometimes they're out there unaccompanied, that's when it becomes everybody's problem because
Absolutely.
we have to be able to protect young folks from predators. And I think that's where I kind of see the importance of people talking about it. Everything else, anything else is all speculation, it's
Yeah.
all, you know, opinion, and it's unnecessary. But when you hear stories about you know, Justin Bieber being possibly being victimized as a child, or you hear scenarios where women are being, like you said, drugged or coerced or blackmailed or whatever. I as a potential mother and someone who has been a mentor and want the best for young people in general, if I can sit down and be very frank with a young person and say, hey, listen, these are the things that happen out here in the world, and this is what you need to be aware of,
Yeah.
and these are the warning signs.
I
If
agree.
they
Yeah.
asking you to go to back rooms, if they're asking you, hey, how do you feel about this, and that makes you uncomfortable, be confident enough to say,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Don't let peer pressure, or excuse me, not peer pressure, but don't let pressure happen. That's where this stuff is important. And other than that,
And this one
And
thing my father said one day, me and my
mhm,
dad was talking, and he was saying, you know what, son? He was talking about Puff Daddy and how Puff Daddy came to his church at, City Refuge at one time, and
okay,
how nice and how, cool he was. And my dad made a statement. He said, you know what, son? Can't nobody take my manhood. Only way they
mm,
can give it have it if I
if you
give it
give
to
it
them.
to them, yes, that's
So can't
very
nobody
true.
take that away from me, whether you 18, 19, 20, or 21 or 41. Can't nobody take that away. You have to give it to them. So
Mm,
that, and with that being said, if you're a man, you're gonna be a man at all costs, all day or night, whether it's a dollar sign, fame, fortune, or whatever. You are not going to subject your manhood for anything. because that's not
Mm.
who you are. So, but
Mhm.
that's my thing is when people stop focusing on him and let's like stop focusing on him. What's
Mhm.
once again, whatever he did is going to come out, and he's gonna get what's just.
Mhm.
Puff Daddy was shady back in the Uptown days. What was the Andre Harrell? How he
Andre
did him?
Harrell.
Mhm.
So like you said, Britt, he's always had a dark cloud over him because of the way he
Mhm.
came up.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I do want to go back to Justin Bieber. I mean, we don't know these people personally, right? We only see what we see on TV and
Mhm.
hear in the news and read articles or what have you. But I did think about it though, after they continuously to shove that video down our throats and down our eyeballs,
Mhm.
with him and Justin Bieber going to his flavor camp or whatever it was called.
mhm.
Mhm.
I think about the spiraling, the downward spiraling of artists when you see them trying to cope with life.
Yeah,
It's like it makes you think, what
Mm.
the hell happened
You're talking
to
about post, right? Like something
correct.
happens and then their life. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We see it
Yes.
too many times. Britney Spears
Mhm.
spiral, totally out of
yeah, out of
control.
control.
Mhm.
We see all these entertainers, some that the most have been taken advantage of. And like you
Right.
said, there are predators
Yeah.
in this
Nickelodeon. Let's look at
industry.
the Nickelodeon guy. All that time I
Mhm.
was watching Loving Double Dare
Oh yeah.
and didn't even know that he was a child predator.
I need
Allegedly.
to watch the documentary on the
Yes.
Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. So,
Let me
but
let me say this to you really
uh
quickly. Go ahead and finish your point, and then I'm gonna jump in.
no, I just want to say back to being a predator.
Mhm.
Um, I I felt, I don't know, when I see Justin Bieber. I don't know. I'm not saying that Puffy had anything to do with it, but he spiraled out of control. Now I try to compare him and Usher when he came
Mhm.
down going to the same camp. I've never
Mhm.
seen Usher lose his mind or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right.
We sort of have been coasting through this industry. And I'm just doing the comparison between the people that have been in close proximity with Puff Daddy.
Go back to
But
Right.
Usher.
I wanted to mention Corey Holcomb
Oh,
because
Mm.
Corey Holcomb
Yes.
went on this spree of interviews and telling people how the industry is full of predators and what they
Yeah.
make you do and all these things as a child. And people was looking at him like he's crazy.
Okay.
But I really want people to pay attention that if these predators are out there, do not let them take advantage of you.
Yeah.
If you're
like
trying
the
to get in
old
the
people
industry,
say,
yeah,
what matter of man is this?
yeah.
Oh, like I just don't get it. I thank God that we have not came across anything like that.
Mhm.
It's not for the weak at heart. You have to
No,
really
the
think
industry is
who you are.
not. The
And
No,
industry
know
is
it's
who you
not.
not.
are and stand on who you are. And know, like, let's use
Mhm.
Cat Williams. Cat Williams, he was joking when he said Puff Daddy.
I don't know if he was joking.
I don't know if he was joking. I honestly
I think
don't
he
know.
was for real. He was for
And the
real.
thing is, the thing about it is, I'm gonna piggyback off of you, and then I want us to try to pivot.
Yeah, let's pivot. Let's get out of
But
here because we'll be talking about this all night.
yes, because this is a topic within itself, and I think it's one that's kind of important. One that I
Bucket
think,
is stuck on my end. Just FYI.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, I think so too. One of the things that I think is important in terms of kind of relating it specifically to Cat Cat Williams, right? We wouldn't. I don't know if this was happening like around the same time. I think the news dropped about P Diddy around the same time Cat
Yeah,
Williams went on
that Cat
Shannon
Williams
Sharp.
was
So
on
he was
Shannon.
just
Yeah,
making commentary
yeah,
that supported what was happening in the news.
correct.
Which is, hey, if he's, like I said, he's in these rooms, he would
He
know. So
knows
he might have been speaking from a place of
of
actual
knowing.
knowledge, right?
Correct.
One thing that Kat said that I think is important, and it ties into what I was just saying about, knowing where you are, knowing the rooms that you're in, knowing the people that you're associating with, is that Kat was talking about, this is a new year, this is a new cycle. He's not setting us up, or he's setting us up to not repeat the same cycles.
Repeat the same
And I
cycle.
yeah, and I think that's a very interesting thing he wanted to do, because honestly, since then, I believe that was what, on the first or the second of the new
Yeah,
year, something
of
crazy
New Year's. Yes,
that set us on this trajectory of really like clearing the board.
clearing
And
house.
when I say
Clearing
that, I
house.
mean like really
Yeah,
exposing a lot of the treacherous things that are
correct.
happening in these rooms that a lot of us are clamoring to be in.
Correct.
Um, and to have that kind of understanding is important. Once again, clarifying that and reiterating that, it also made having this documentary, I think it's called, what is it called, oh shoot,
What?
it's the documentary that's now, I think it's on Amazon, no, it's on Disney or Disney Plus, or
Nickelodeon?
yeah, the one about Nickelodeon, I forget where it is, but
You know what? I don't know exactly
I feel
what
like it's on it might be on HBO. I think it's on
is it on
HBO Max.
HBO? Okay,
I
well I know I need
feel
to find
like
it.
I know it's streaming somewhere. But I say all that to say, one of the things that kind of irritated me about that is, number one, Nickelodeon is now, I believe it's now owned by one of these streaming services, right? And
Mm-hmm.
if you had enough information at any point,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it is important at now to make a
Mm-hmm.
documentary about it, to make it sensational, to make it something for someone to watch as entertainment. You're taking a child's
It's sickening.
innocence,
Yeah.
and this is
Sickening.
why, and I'm saying all of that because I'm looking at what the news is doing, and I'm taking it for face value. It's news. It's something to
Yes.
internalize and then utilize, right? The
Yes.
the way I feel about this documentary, it, like you just said, it really makes my stomach turn,
Yeah. It's
because it's
sickening.
not to inform in a way that's helpful. It's literally
Right.
gossip. It's literally after, decades
Right.
later, these kids have had their lives turned upside down. As you just
Right.
admitted, they've spiraled. They have hurt that, or childhood
Turned
trauma that
out.
they haven't healed from.
Yes.
And then
Turned
you're
out.
utilizing that to make a show. I don't
To
like
make
that
a
at all.
show. It is
And
sickening. How about you
yeah,
get with those families if they're still yet living and haven't,
right.
you know, if they're
Exactly.
still living, get with the families, repay them.
Yes.
Money can't take away the hurt and turmoil that they experience and that they still deal with. But
Mm-hmm.
get with the family. Don't out it to us. Get with the family
Yeah.
and deal with them personally and tell them sorry. Because
Right.
a lot of them went through it. A lot of them
Mm-hmm.
kept secrets because they were threatened.
Mm-hmm.
All these things, like it is sickening to me that now they want to bring it back and tell all the deep dark secrets that they've been knowing
Yeah.
and use it for a game.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I think it feeds into something you said not too long ago, which is the fact that we have fed into being distracted,
Yeah.
and the distraction that they're actually contributing to is more so not the fact that these kids were harmed at some point,
Mm-hmm.
but that we can now sit and we can gossip about it instead of fixing the problem, right?
Yeah.
And I know that's really, I'm kind of like fixing what I have in my head to be more concise.
Yes.
I want to know. I want to know who from, and I want to know how to make it stop.
Yeah.
The problem is now we have all these other distractions that are getting in the way of me being able to protect myself or others that I care about. And
Yeah.
that's the problem that I have. And I think, other than that, we are going to remain in this era, this new time that Cat Williams kind of like set
He
us
called
in.
it he called it the year of the reveal.
The year of the reveal. And I want to
Everything
stay
and
there. I
everyone
want to stay
is going to
there.
reveal.
Yeah.
And
Oh
that's
yeah.
what's happening. But
Absolutely.
we can move off of Diddy
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Puffy, Sean,
There's plenty of other
whatever.
people we could talk about and get into,
Absolutely.
but that's what I wanted to kind of like talk about, because it all has ties in our, industry in terms of
Yeah.
entertainment, and it's very important. And hopefully we will talk a little bit more about this, because I
I
think it's
think we
important for
should
young
keep it
people to
going.
have a platform
Yeah.
to be able to, have hard conversations. These are the hard
These
conversations
are
that we
hard
need to
conversations.
have for sure.
Yeah.
So moving along.
Let's get out of here because we're gonna be stuck.
I want to go ahead and drop some content in terms of what you can watch, where you can watch it, and who's in it. We got two different
This was good.
yeah. So we have a film and we have a show that's going to be. This one is out actually. This is called Parallel. This is starring Danielle Deadweiler, Aldous Hodge, and I don't know if you knew. I didn't know he had a brother, and I didn't know his brother was an actor, but Edwin Hodge. So we have brothers starring in this film
You know
together
what?
with Danielle Deadweiler.
I know both of them, but
Hmm.
I didn't know they were related.
Yeah, yes, they are. Right? I mean, they kind of look like each other, but I never put it together.
I
Anyway,
never put two and two together. You know, we have the same last names. It's a Smith over there and the Smith right there, the
right,
Robinson right there and the Robinson right there, and not related at all. But I
right.
never put two and two together, and I never did any
Absolutely.
research on it. So
Okay. Well, so the film Parallel, it's sci-fi, it's a science fiction film. It follows the journey of a woman named Vanessa, as she's going through a grief-stricken
yeah,
mystery to find herself, and she does this by navigating parallel spaces. So it's a whole lot of different things going on. It's drama, it's a little suspense, it's the sci-fi element. I believe there's something to the effect that there's a child
yeah, some type of
that has
loss of
been
a child.
lost or something like that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
so I mean, it looks really good, and this is a cool thing. It's actually written by the brothers. It's actually written by Edwin. Yeah,
Oh,
Edwin and
really?
Aldous. Yes.
Come
There's
through,
another gentleman.
sci-fi black
Yeah. There's
men.
a third writer in there, but the brothers actually wrote this together. So that's
I
pretty cool.
love to hear that. I love,
Yeah.
you know, we're so versatile. I love that
Yeah.
about us. You
Yeah.
know, we can step into sci-fi, we can step into all these different genres when it comes
Mhm.
down to creativity. But anyway, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Guys, I am back. I guess
I mean,
Yay.
well,
Welcome
we
back.
were looking for
I
you.
guess
I mean,
my whole system just went out. They wanted me to stop talking about what we were just talking about. So that's
oh
Yeah.
well,
we did we did that.
you
We
better
did
check
that
the
for you.
door. Hide your wives, hide your children, close the door,
yeah.
shut the window. Okay.
Right.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah, so
So
yeah,
you missed it, Bucket.
these are the brothers together. I thought that was pretty cool.
I
Okay.
love that.
So
I did not know that they were brothers. I had
mhm.
no clue. I do not like him without a mustache. I want it to go back. I want it to. Don't do that, Aldous Hodge.
Right, that's
Edwin
Need
funny.
Hart.
you with a mustache, unless you're playing an old attorney and that doesn't have any facial
That's
hair.
funny. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
go ahead.
So really quickly, I don't know the name of the show, but it was a procedural. Edwin played a cop on a couple different shows. Danielle's last film,
Oh,
if I'm
that's
not
my show.
mistaken. Oh, really?
He played. Oh, City
What's
of
the
the
name of it?
Hills with Kevin Bacon. Hold on.
Oh, that's what it's called. Okay, yeah. Danielle
Hold on.
Deadweiler's last film. She plays Till's mother. I don't know what Mamie Till. She plays Mamie Till in the last the most recent iteration of Till. Emmett Till's story. And then
Let me.
Aldous Hodge, he's been in a few things, but the only thing I can
Alice.
like really think of and really like, attach him to his face to is because I love the show. It's Underground. I don't know if y'all
No,
watch that.
let me tell you. You have to watch City on the Hill. It's a
Okay.
drama. It's 3 seasons.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was canceled or not. I've been waiting for the next season.
Okay.
Um, he plays an attorney, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken, and Kevin Bacon is Dirty Top.
Mm-hmm.
It it is good. You guys
It's
have to
good.
watch
Okay.
it. But
Check it
I
out.
know him
Okay.
from that too.
Got you. Got you. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to
Yeah,
our show. So Parallels, the film that we're suggesting. It is out, and I believe it's streaming on Amazon.
yeah,
I think it might be on Amazon Prime right now. Um, so we're also going to be featuring a show that should be coming out. I think you said April 25th, right, Marina?
yeah. April 25th.
So this is so hush hush. I don't know. I don't know what Amazon is doing, but we weren't able to find the poster for the new season of them. But went ahead and showed or put up the poster for the 2021
Yeah,
series. It was
2021.
supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be a limited series, meaning it was just going to be the however many episodes, and then we would never see of it again. But
I thought so too.
apparently the writer and creator Little Marvin did such a fabulous job with this
He
season.
did. He
Amazon,
did.
I say so, but I'm not everybody,
He
right?
did.
So
Listen, he
um,
did.
he did a great job with this
He did
first
a great job.
season.
Hmm.
And seems like Amazon has given him the green light. Has given him the green light. Doesn't seem like it. They have given him the green light to create an additional season, and it's under the same name, but it's an anthology. So we're not going to see all of the same characters from the previous season. We're actually only just going to see Deborah Ayurinde, who is the young woman in the middle. She's the center of the frame. She plays the mother in season one,
Season one.
and I
Yeah.
believe it's set in the early 1900s. So like, I,
1960s.
no, was it the 60s?
Yeah, I think so. The first season?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So it was okay.
Is that
So
when she
this
slapped the
was
white lady?
yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the reason why I say the 60s, I wasn't sure if it was the 60s or it was
I
the
think
70s because it's based in LA.
it's based in
There
Compton.
is no yes, based in Compton, Los
Yeah.
Angeles, the county, but
Yeah.
in Compton specifically, which I thought was super cool. I love Little Marvin
Great.
for doing that. We
I
got to
love that
learn
so much.
history
Yes.
about Compton, about Los Angeles,
Yes. Loved
about
it.
how redlining works, all of the very intricate things that happen specifically in Los Angeles and in the city of Compton. I thought that was dope.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
And then
I've
he
learned a lot
also
about Compton because
right,
a
right.
lot of people don't know that Compton was majorly Caucasian
Yeah, it
Yes.
was.
back in the day.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
It
it
definitely was.
was.
There's like very few historical sites that are still in existence here in Compton. Um, Rosewood, which
Rosewood
everyone I talk to thinks is the Rosewood in Florida, but they don't know that there's a Rosewood in Compton.
in Compton. Yeah.
They don't know really about like the municipalities. I believe the husband who's played, I think his name is Sydney, or I forget the man who plays Deborah's husband in the series, but he worked for a either like NASA or he
I
worked
think his name
for
is
a company.
Dashy.
Okay, okay, thank you for the correction. But
Yeah.
he works for a company, and he's like he's a scientist, or he does high math, right?
Hmm.
And one of the
Oh,
scenes where we
really?
find out what he does, he's referred to like the janitor's closet, right? It's just a great, like, the series itself is just so
Yeah.
great, and I think
If
I
you guys
love it.
haven't, yeah, if you guys haven't seen them, if you guys haven't seen the first season, I don't know where you been,
please go and watch it. It's a
Definitely.
horror. Don't
It's
we
a
cannot leave out
horror.
we cannot leave out, Marina, that it's a horror. So don't go
It's a
into it thinking
horror.
it's all about race and it's all about historical facts. No, it's got some other elements in there, and
It is beyond.
it's
Yeah.
exquisitely tied in
You
together.
can.
Like it's all
Yes.
weaved in really, really well. And then the other thing
Check
I
it
love
I.
out.
about it, really quickly, is that season two technically is not season two. It's a whole new story. It's
So.
just season two by name, really. That's it.
So I thought this was Jordan Peele.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I know it's Little Marvin, but
Right.
it gives me Jordan Peele.
I
You
understand.
know, it gives me a Jordan Peele vibe and aesthetic. But so do we consider American Horror Story an anthology?
Ooh.
Yes.
Because they use the same actors
Yeah.
over and over, and but in different stories and different
Yes.
scenarios. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so that's what it's giving me, but with a black cast. And I
That
hope that
sounds very
this
good.
continues.
Uh-huh.
I hope that this continues and has a run like American Horror Story.
Okay.
I I
Okay.
really hope that it has a long run like that. I feel like this is like where they're going
You think
Gotcha.
so?
because I was not expecting this next story.
Ah.
I was not expecting this next story.
I will be
Okay.
And
checking it out.
go ahead.
No, I was saying I will be checking it out. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
them is good, and I can't wait to April 25th. That's
Oh
what it
yeah.
said. That's
I
what it said on the
I think
computer.
I think it's really interesting. I think it's great. I love the fact that they're using Deborah again. I loved her in I forget the series where she's an heiress, or she's like she inherits her father's hair care company. I don't know
Mhm.
if y'all heard of this story. But I can't remember. It was that on Amazon too. She had either a Netflix show or an Amazon show that came out right after them, and it was a very odd, like it was a disjointed like scenario where
Is
she
it
was in a
called
horror show.
Riches?
Riches, yes,
Hmm.
yes, yeah. I
Okay.
thought I love her. Like she's
I didn't watch
she's
Riches.
gorgeous.
I didn't see
She's
it.
oh, you didn't see it? It's really good.
Hmm.
I actually enjoyed it. Um, but going back to them, I thought it was such a great like spin-off from Riches, because that's family drama, and it's it's
Yeah.
more, it's not dark, it's not gloomy, it's not scary at all, it's just drama and very interesting. It's a very interesting show. But this one, every episode you're learning something, you're locked in, every character has their own moment. Each
It's
one of
good.
the
It's so good.
family members has an episode where they are going through something in this horror landscape, and I thought that was so
It's so good.
great, because you
Yeah,
got
it's
to
so
see
good.
each one of these actors really kind of like
Show their
blossom,
skills.
and then yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and it's stand alone, but
Hmm.
still tell this dynamic story of this family going through something in real life in terms of like racism, inequality, bias, and a whole
Yes.
host of other things that were actually happening in the 60s and or 70s. I
Or
would
70s, whichever one it
yeah,
is.
whichever the era
Don't quote
of
us on
this
me here.
series is. But the
Don't
cool
quote
thing
us.
is the
But the
new
first
the new
season was like
series,
out of the 60s, right?
I
That
believe
was not,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, but
I
this new
think so.
series is really cool because Little Marvin is still very centered in the black community. It's still set in Los Angeles. I don't know what city it's going to be in, but it's still set in Los Angeles County, right?
Yeah.
Deborah is coming back as the star or the central character,
Yeah.
although we're going to see her in a different light. The horror element is still there. I'm so, like you said, I'm so excited to see what Little Marvin has created this time around, and how he's going to tie in like the supernatural element, the horror element, the real life element, the historical facts, like all of the things that we
All of
got
that. Because
with
he
the
gives you
first
all of
season
that. Yes, he
to
gives you
this one.
all.
Yeah.
Show them who's in the next season.
Okay, so we have Deborah Ayurende and Luke James. And I think I
Yes,
could give this away because if you had any time, you've more than likely seen the trailer for this.
the
And it seems
trailer.
like Luke James is playing the either the villain or the is it, I can't remember.
He
And I
does.
should know this.
He
But
does look
he's the
like
bad
he
guy.
does look like the villain in the trailer. Do we
Yeah.
have a trailer?
We don't. We don't.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm very excited. Also, I don't know how long we're gonna see her or how long she's gonna be in this series. But I saw
Yeah.
Pam Grier. Pam Grier had a
Yeah.
little cameo in the
That
trailer,
got
so that's
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. I'm
That's gonna
excited
be
to
good.
see Pam Grier. She's still
Yeah.
she's
She's
still
still getting it, ain't she?
yeah. She's
Yes.
Let it
still
all
Yes.
split
getting it.
out. No, I'm gone,
Yeah.
girl.
I'm not mad. I'm just excited. I'm excited to see this. When I saw the trailer, I think I went crazy. I think I sent you a DM, Brittany. I was just like,
Mhm.
I
You
told, I
did.
told, I was like, I cannot wait for this second season. I am so excited. Kudos to Lil Marvin for,
Yeah.
you know, bringing back, making this an anthology.
Yeah.
I am invested. Just put it like that. I'm
I
Absolutely
invested.
will be as
Yeah.
invested.
well. I
Yeah.
I watch TV now, so
Yeah, because at first you
You,
didn't watch
I
TV.
wasn't watching TV. Well, y'all got me watching TV,
hey,
so I can stay on
there's a
top of the
lot of
Well, I
there's
game.
a
love
lot of
that.
really good things going on right now. I did. I don't know if I could, just real quickly. We gave Danielle, because I'm going to shout her out, and we gave Deborah the spotlight. But I have to take a moment and shout out one of my favorite actresses, whose show is just dropped. But that's Sonequa Martin Green, and that's the last and final season of Discovery, Star Trek Discovery. So,
Oh yeah, I
yeah. So
heard.
I don't know if there's
Yeah,
any Trekkie fans out there, but
I'm
her
not a
show
Trekkie
has her
fan,
drop.
but I respect you. I
So
Okay.
respect
what do y'all
you.
call Trekkies or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Trekkie.
Star Trek fans are called Trekkies.
Trekkies,
I
yes.
grew up in a house with an aunt that was dedicated to
Oh,
watching. Yeah, so Star
Okay.
Trek. So that was my
okay.
aunt. She loves Star Trek, still does, and yeah. So that's why I respect it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well,
I respect it too.
hey, we gotta throw out all kind of different genres. You never know who's watching. You never know who's
Yeah,
looking for something to watch. So we
Right.
gave
yeah.
you we gave you some sci-fi. Well, we gave you two types of sci-fi, but more sci-fi, drama, suspense. Then we gave you,
Or
some horror, some straight up
yeah,
horror. Get ready for that. I'm telling you, do
yeah.
not go in expecting
Watch
Disney.
it
This
tonight.
is some straight up scary stuff.
Watch them tonight. Find
Damn,
your
start
streaming
start
and
with the
watch
What?
it.
previous season.
I
Yes, for
am. Once
sure.
we finish with this show, I'm gonna go down in the family room and I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna check.
Watch
Okay.
it.
All
Okay,
right.
let's move
So let's
on.
go
We
ahead and
have
move on. We're
yes.
going to move right along into our next portion of tonight's show. As promised, we had a guest interview, a pre-recorded guest interview for
Yes,
you all tonight. Um, um, I got a chance to speak with a really good friend of mine. At this point, we've known each other for a while, but over the last about couple years, we've grown a little closer. And he's really great. He's actually one of a few people who've inspired me to get into comics. Um, and that's one of the entertainment fields that we don't really talk
Yeah,
about,
we don't really
but
talk
we
about it.
watch
We don't
movies
highlight
that
it.
are centered around
Yeah,
comics. Blade,
yeah.
of course, as of recently, the last few years, we've gotten a whole two films based off of Black Panther,
Off
which
of
is
uh-huh.
based
A
around a
comic.
comic.
Yeah.
Not Marvel. We have
Isn't
the
Marvel
Fantastic
all of
Four
them based off of comic
comics.
books?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted to kind of like tap into that and share that with you. So
I'm
I
glad
have an
that you did it.
interview.
pleasure to
Awesome.
see.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
have an interview with Sebastian Jones, who is a creator of a graphic novel and comic called Niobe. And I want to share that interview with you all. I'm going to go ahead and pull everything up,
Did
and
you ask
hope
him
you enjoy. I
how
didn't.
did they get? Okay.
I didn't. I didn't. But he talks about it
Okay.
a little bit in the interview, but I didn't get a chance
All right.
to pick his
Because that
brain
was my
about that
question.
specifically. Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I did a what is it called? What is that system crowdfund.
Oh, crowdfunding. Yes, yes, yes.
It didn't
Yeah,
work for
no.
us.
We need
Anyway,
his
go
mojo.
ahead.
Whatever he had going on, it was amazing. All right, so at this time, go ahead and check this interview out with Sebastian, and hopefully enjoy.
Yes.
Hello, hello. Well, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to our um, TMR team in the future Thursday night. I hope you are all watching and enjoying the show. At this time, I appreciate you all being here with us and enjoying what we got going on so far. I know current industry news has a lot going on, so thank you for sticking in with us so far. But this is the time in the show where the folks on the other side in the future have kicked it over to me for our special guest interview. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As you all know, I am your host, B Baby, better known as Britt, and we have a fantastic special guest for you tonight. It's one of my good friends at this point. We have known each other since, I believe, 2016. So we've got some years under the belt knowing each other and finding each other out in the comic world. I want to take a moment to introduce tonight's guest, and then we'll take a look at some of his work so far in the comic world, and then we'll get into this interview. Tonight, we have on deck in the studio with us, in the room, as I like to say, Sebastian A. Jones. Sebastian A. Jones is a visionary and trailblazing graphic novelist, storyteller, and entrepreneur, best known and celebrated for his creation of the story and comic book series Niobe. Born into a multicultural family with roots in England, Jamaica, and the United States, Jones was immersed in diverse narratives from an early age, laying the groundwork for his future in storytelling. Sebastian's passion for weaving intricate narratives and exploring diverse perspectives has carved a unique niche in the world of comics and literature. In 2015, Jones introduced Niobe, She Is Life, a fantasy epic co-written with Amanda Steinberg and illustrated by Ashley A. Woods. The series follows Niobe, a young black warrior, on a journey through a world of magic and myth, offering a fresh perspective on the genre while addressing themes of identity and empowerment. Niobe garnered praise for the groundbreaking representation and commitment to diversity, resonating with audiences globally. Jones's collaboration with Steinberg further amplified the series' message of inclusivity, cementing its status as a cultural milestone. Beyond Niobe, Jones has contributed to various comic projects including Dusu, Path of the Ancient, and Urethane. He dedicated and amplified unprecedented voices extended to his role as the founder and CEO of Stranger Comics, a platform dedicated to fostering diversity and innovation in literature and entertainment. Jones's creative vision and advocacy for inclusivity has earned him recognition as a leader in the comic industry, inspiring a new generation of storytelling to push boundaries and challenge conventions. At this time, I would like to take a moment and take a look at some of his work. Check it out.
In the vast and volatile world of Asunder, danger lurks in every corner. From the shadow mountains of the arid Kaf to the deep jungles of Go. Niobe and other legends of Asunder must battle their own inner demons and the ones that have come to claim their very soul. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest Stranger Comics Kickstarter campaign featuring your favorite half-elven hero, Niobe. Now, if you're not familiar with Stranger Comics, we've essentially created an interconnected fantasy world with tales that reflect the human spirit. Now, it's my hope that you find yourself within these pages and these beautiful, flawed characters, these ones that we've created just for you. This Kickstarter focuses on Tales of Asunder, a series of epic one-shots set within our world. First up, we have Tales of Asunder, Volume 1, Issue 4, Mother's Hands. This is where world creator Dura takes Niobe into the past to see Nadami her mother for the very first time. Now, I did this in honor of my late mother, Dawn, a most beautiful soul, for with whom without her, there would be no Stranger Comics.
Fantastic. Oh, that is so cool. That is just a small snippet of the campaign that is running right now on Kickstarter. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But at this time, I want to introduce to you and bring on board into the room our good friend and special guest tonight, Sebastian A. Jones. Welcome, welcome, welcome,
Thanks so
welcome.
much for having me. Hey, good to
Yes,
see
hey,
you,
hello,
Brett.
hello. Good to see you as well. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. The weather's suddenly changed in Los Angeles, so it's gone from being chilly and odd and rainy to LA weather, which is kind of balmy and t-shirt weather.
Right, and that's really how LA goes. You know, it's such an interesting time right now. We all want to not believe global warming is real, but it is because I mean, I live in an area that's supposed to be hot and supposed to be arid, but as of the last couple weeks, maybe month in totality, it's been annoyingly cold and it's been annoyingly rainy, and I just have to, say, hey, we are at fault, but I love it. I love it. Currently, I want to find out where you are and what you've been up to, and see how that has tied into what you got going on. It seems like you're really, really busy, so I want to find out what you got going on.
That's very kind. Yeah, thank you. Oh my goodness, been extremely busy this year. We I seem to be going to multiple conventions during the course of the year. How am I doing personally? Goodness,
Yeah.
I'm a little overwhelmed, I think,
Okay.
but potentially in a good way. With the company, with the writing, with conventions, with family stuff. There just never seems to be a dull moment. Everything seems to be like all collide on a constant, on a constant basis. And so, yeah, I think I realized the only time I get a good amount of sleep is when I'm on a plane, when no one can contact me, and I pretend I don't know how to work the Wi-Fi on a plane.
Right, right, right.
Um, but yeah, a lot of conventions. We just did WonderCon before that, Emerald City Comic Con.
Fantastic.
We'll be off to LA Festival of Books next weekend. Then I'm
Okay.
off to Cape Town, South
Ooh.
Africa,
Ooh,
Comic Con
ooh, ooh.
Africa, Cape Town. They're flying me out, which is a massive honor because apparently we have some fans of Niobe in South Africa, which is just amazing.
That
So
is amazing. Now,
thank
you're
you.
not only being a flown out gentleman, but you're actually a flown out international gentleman. Oh, that is something, right? That
I
is
mean,
something.
I tell you, it's incredibly humbling. We went out, we were flown out last year to
Yeah.
the bigger one in Johannesburg, and it was a very surreal and humbling experience to have fans coming up to us going, "Wait, you're the Niobe guy. Can you meet my mum?"
Oh,
Yeah, it was extremely humbling to see that. When you're in the lab and you don't really know, and you're fighting the good fight with conventions and social media algorithms and all the things
yes.
that people know you or not. And it is me. I'm not important. People know Niobe. People know
Yes.
this character and they resonate with her, and um, that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
And somehow during all this, I'm in addition to my day job of running Stranger Comics and all the other things, I have a Kickstarter going on right now for the new Niobe with an actress from South Africa, Tuso Imbedu, who here's the crazy tie-in.
Okay, okay.
The tie-in is crazy. So in your big lead up to me, which is very sweet. So I
Yes.
co-wrote Niobe Shears Life with Amanda Stenberg. You're rocking the T-shirt. You got the hardcover. You
I
got the
got the
big.
hardcover.
You got the big joint.
I got the shirt. Yes, yes.
So Amanda, when we did this, we didn't realize at the time it was the first nationally distributed comic book with a black female author, artist, and hero in the history of entertainment.
Really?
Yeah, and we had no clue.
Okay.
Um, and Viola Davis wrote the forward in the hardcover that you have,
Yes,
and
which is
Viola Davis.
beautiful. Oh, it's such a beautiful
It
forward. Oh, I
is. She did
really, really love
amazing.
it. Yes.
Viola Davis played the lead in The Woman King, and the actress that played her daughter, Naui, is Tusu Mbedu. He writes the new Naui comic,
Look at that.
which is on the
That is
Kickstarter.
gorgeous. Oh, that is so gorgeous.
Of course, that's the metal edition version of
Okay.
it. But yes, um, amazing, amazing stuff. So, oh, you went to. You've given me the spotlight, or?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I wanted
Oh, okay.
folks
I
to
was like,
see
can you
it.
get some
Yeah.
pics? There you go. All right.
Look at that.
And do you
Oh,
want to see? Do you want to see what her mum looks like? That's also on the Kickstarter.
yes. Ooh, come on, Seb. You. Mwah. It's beautiful. Always beautiful artwork.
Thank you.
I want to kind of go back to what you were talking about in terms of Amanda Steinberg and you co-authoring.
So Amanda, I do a series of kids books called the I Am book series. I work with Garcelle Beauvais from the Jamie Foxx show. She's was also in Spider-Man and The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I think.
Yes.
But anyway, she's amazing, 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 amazing. So we did a series of kids' books, and one was called I Am Mixed, which was a celebration of all cultures. I Am Living in Two Homes for kids that deal with separation and divorce. And I Am Awesome, which is how to be brave, not give up, and be a good friend. And I was at a festival, and someone says, "Hey, that's Rue." And so I ran out, and she played Rue in the Hunger Games, and I gave her a copy of the book. The book, took a photo, and I was like, "Oh my god, you got to be Niobe!" Oh my, and her mum was like, "All right, crazy man," And she came with her mother to this auditorium. I was like, "Come with me, I'm going to read my book." They're like, "Okay." So they followed me to this room of like 300 people. However, it was 300 empty seats apart from one old person in the back. So it was just her and her mum in the front row. So I had a whole essential auditorium pretty much to read to just Amanda and her mum. And after I finished the book, she's like, "You're really funny. Okay, what's this thing you're talking about?"
Okay.
And so then I gave her the Untamed. She read the Untamed, fell in love with the character Niobe, and she was 15 at the time. It's a long time ago now. And ironically, Niobe was 15 around that age in the Untamed, and kind of, so her parallel at that time was very similar to Niobe's age. So I credit Amanda a lot with, if I wrote things in Shear's life that felt too grown, I guess.
Adult. Yeah.
She was like, "Seb, no kid's gonna say this." I'm like, "Oh right, good point."
Okay.
And then now writing with Tuso and Bedu, she in the new Niobe She Tribe book. That book is actually a story in between the Niobe Shear's life and Shear's death as a one shot.
Okay.
And that story is about the concepts of tradition. Are all traditions good?
Right.
And who are we to judge them? And then if we're going to say, it's almost like a law in America. Well, that's law. That's my right. That's a tradition. Well, does a traditional law make it right?
Okay.
Are we allowed to change it? And then if we change it, how does that impact something generationally?
Yes.
And does now becoming like, that shit's wrong. I'm going to change that. All right, deuces.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, you have to lead us now. I have to lead you? Wait, what? So we wanted to kind of tackle some of those kind of moral dilemmas for someone that's ascending into someone that has to take on these, massive kind of, decision making as a leader. Like, life isn't so black and white, And I even did one book. It's in this one right here. In the new Tales of Asunder, you can get the first issue too, or you can get this on the Kickstarter. In one of these issues, it's called Niobe and the Stranger. The subcategory is first kill. It's the first time Niobe has to kill somebody. So she really believes when Niobe and the Stranger, she's like, you shouldn't kill, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And she's going to be faced with a situation where she might have to kill somebody, and it's
Right.
not what you expect. So
Okay.
that's also we throw a lot at this poor girl, you
Yeah.
know, but that's essentially what will make her ascend into being a queen, and essentially we go from she is life, she is death. We'll have she is spirit, and then we'll have she is God.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So my question was, as a writer and a graphic novelist, for you personally, how have you grown with the story of Niobe? Have you found yourself becoming a different Sebastian,
Mm.
and through the way you've changed or the way you've grown, how has the story evolved?
That's a great question. I started the world of Asunder started to be formed 35 years ago. When I was a boy growing up, and I think growing up as a mixed kid in England, I wanted to. I don't know, hide within a world. Got into a few fights and things, or just feeling like, where do I belong? Well, all the things that people talk about. And I think it's kind of common. It doesn't really matter where you're from or whatever. But for folks that are yeah, some more than others, I guess. And I think I romanticized about this girl who could take on my vulnerabilities and my flaws and onto her winged shoulders, but also my wrath. And as I grew, she kind of grew with me,
Wow.
and the world I was building around her also grew. And I used to run a record label for a lot of years when I moved to America. I used to do acting and modeling when I was young and pretty, Um, and
Still, don't try to play. Still.
please, really, it's all falling apart, darling. It's all falling apart. But thank you. But I think I'm very moved by the human journey, and so in Niobe Shear's life, there's a naivety of first love, and there's a line in Shear's life that I wrote, which was the it's a Beauty and the Beast love story, and the orc, the half orc says to Niobe, "The world will not love us, Niobe," and she says, "No, but will that stop us from loving the world?"
Right. Yes.
So I think there are moments when you're young. Um, there's an optimism. There's this feeling of I can change the world. I can do these things. And then as you get older, your armor of innocence is chipped away a little bit, which is why when I did Shear's Death, it was Niobe and I were kind of going on these journeys. And maybe I'd gone on them when I was younger. I started to write out her arc. Um, and definitely things move and shift and it becomes malleable. But that's when she becomes a bounty hunter, hunting down sex traffickers and slave traders to reflect
Right.
on girls who get abducted. But I've always kind of played with themes that essentially I feel affect my spirit. So you can do the micro kind of human, intimate kind of relationships with friends, families, lovers, and so on, betrayal, hurt, and so on. And all she wants to do is be a girl, right?
Right. That
So,
there's a line at the end of Shia's life where she says, I just want to be a kid, or I just want to be, yeah, she says something along the lines, I just want to be a kid, but I have to be this thing that everyone else is putting on me. And
well,
that felt so real.
I'm going to be in the next Niobe comic. No, it's not in She Tribe, but in the next one, there's a line I'm basically going to write that I've written, and I'm like, I've told a few people, like, hopefully it doesn't get pinched because so many people pinch my shit.
Ah.
Um, it's basically everyone goes, "Oh, she's the chosen one," and Dura will say, "You're not the She's basically like, she is not the chosen one. She chooses to be one."
Mm.
So I think that allows us all to kind of feel that sense of obligation versus adventure,
Responsibility.
responsibility
Yes, yes,
versus,
yes, yes.
and
Definitely.
what I've tried to do as best as I can without sounding all mansplainy and all the rest. And I kind of like try and hide a little bit in the background because sometimes I know how sensitive folks can be, and
Yeah.
a lot of times with good reason, is under feeling like girls and especially black girls, black women, it's the passing down of being the burden of caretaker
Mm-hmm.
and then the responsibility of being a caretaker to the world. And
Yes.
so the concept of, being a mother and Mother Africa and the displacements and all the various things, and Niobe being displaced from her own mother.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of depth and, uh, you know, as far as layered story that you'll start to experience more and more.
Totally.
The deal with HBO, the head of HBO drama at the time, he asked me, so I had a few offers back then from different film studios,
Mm-hmm.
and he said to me, "Can I ask you a question, Sebastian? Is The Stranger you?"
Mm.
And in the Untamed, I was like, "Oh my goodness, yes, it's me wanting to be a better man, a
Mm-hmm.
better father, and you know, what would I do to do that? Would I make a deal
Mm-hmm.
with the devil? Would I kill
Mm-hmm.
the world? What would I do?" And he goes, "Okay, can I ask you something else? Is Niobe you?"
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Yeah, she's my redemption. She's my salvation. She's my essentially that light I need to be a better man. And also, she also represents because Niobe's not only mixed, elven and human, and
Mm-hmm.
so on. She's half angel, half demon,
Mm-hmm.
to reflect the duality of spirit we share. So she's also wrestling with, am I going to do this or am I going to do my piece? All these things that I struggle with as a kid, as well as being mixed as far as where do I can fit in places, but I don't really belong.
Right.
So I've heard it all grow as ever since I was a boy. What are you? I've walked down the street and a guy's walked past and it says Shabbat Shalom, assuming
Mm.
I'm Jewish. And
Mm.
literally 30 seconds later, a brother walks past. He's like, Assalamu alaikum.
Mm.
And I'm like,
Wow.
that's in 30 seconds. So,
Wow.
what I mean? Like, I've always had this, this very unique, I think, experience.
Mm-hmm.
And at times it's lonely.
Okay.
And you have to kind of find who you are and find your tribe in people, you
Wow.
know.
I
So it's
love
been
that.
so
Yeah.
yeah. That's also, I think, to answer your question without rambling too much,
Mm-hmm.
is yes, there are elements to Niobe, I think, organically that we kind of will parallel a bit.
Okay. Want to kind of shift our conversation into more of you personally, because I know you mentioned you at a point in your life in your career you were an actor and you pursued other ventures as a creative, and I want to kind of give you the opportunity to share what that was like for you, that as an actor you were on auditions and you were doing things that you knew the casting director was messing with
Right,
you,
sure.
and I thought that was such an interesting. So number one, if you could share that with us, and then just kind of share like what was that like, and how did you kind of like veer away from it but still kind of keep your tabs on the entertainment world in terms of film and television.
Yeah, so when I first moved here, I was 18,
Oh
to
wow.
America, and I got a job on a set as soon as I got some working papers. Before that, I was hustling pool and doing portraits of rich white people knocking on their doors and
Oh
saying,
wow.
"Hello, I'm from England. Would you like your portrait done?"
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, I was pretty fearless. Because I think it was just fun. It was the idea of fun and adventure for me.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, getting into modeling and acting, I think I think in retrospect, I didn't take it as seriously as I should have.
Mm.
At that time, I wasn't as focused as I should have to be an actor. To me, when I would go on auditions, some of them were silly, some of them were great,
Mm-hmm.
but I think when I was doing a lot of commercials, they weren't nourishing my soul, So I was enjoying writing and creating and playing Dungeons and Dragons, and that gave me an opportunity to write stories and just kind of get this out, my fantasy world out on paper and just play.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was running my record label and putting out albums and those types of things. So when I would go on auditions, essentially it was a chance to play. So I remember a lot of actors would psych themselves out, if there was like the casting was half an hour late, or like, oh, you know what, I'm not gonna stay for this. This reading actors like shit, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and I'd always be like, I'm just reading a book, bro. When this is fun. When we go in, we should have some fun. We get to play. We're playing pretend. So I try not to take myself. Ironically, the books I write are quite melodramatic. They're quite serious and things, a little bit. But also there are moments. It's like I like sex and sandwiches. We're human, right? We're multifaceted. We're allowed to be melodramatic, but also like fart jokes. We're allowed to be, three-dimensional as artists, which I think nowadays is lost. So if you're a rapper and all you do is trap music, you can't suddenly, do a love song, or you can't rap it. A lot of times we're like, oh, I need to put you in a box, right? Or actors in a box. People that would come to the booth would be like, wait, you write Niobe? And kind of be a bit confused. And then, oh, okay, they get their head around that. And then they see the kids' books are right. Wait, you can't do both. So people like to put you in a box. And I know I'm kind of, veering off your question, but when I was acting in commercials, because I could, one thing like, God hooked me up with was like, you're going to be aware. You're going to be able to read people. And so when someone's fucking with you, so sometimes if I was doing an audition, and the one that you were talking about, there were these dudes from England, it was a Coca-Cola commercial, and they were like, all right, dance with more energy. And you're like dancing to a room with no music, and you're feeling like a bit of an idiot. And then I just remember the director saying to his mate, like, watch this. Now jump up and high five each other. And we're like, all right, high five each other. And I was like, I don't even know if they're recording us. They're just having a laugh. And then he goes, now chest bump. And this other black kid was going up to a chest bump. And I was like, stop, bro. I'm not doing that shit. And the director's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you're having a fucking laugh, mate. I was because I knew he was from England. I'm like, I know what you're doing. You're having a fucking laugh at my expense. I'm all right. It's like, you're not going to work in this. I'm like, shut up. I bounced. But the power that reminded me of bullies at school that lorded their power over you, and that's kind of in Hollywood or in entertainment, and I think in a lot of businesses, but maybe in a business where your business moves people's spirit.
Yes.
Right? Definitely. Music, film, comics, books, it moves people's spirit, and then that becomes contagious. And if I'm in control of that, am I self-aware enough to realize I got to put my ego in check, to be humble and to be grounded and to be thankful and all these various things that I have this opportunity. I think 90% of human, when they're put in those places, it overwhelms their ego and pride, and then they end up acting like dickheads. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that is such a interesting insight into, because of course we're here in America and LA, and I would always assume that just LA could be the most butthole-ish of of the entertainment, but it kind of puts in perspective. Yeah, people who are put in positions that has the ability to lord power over someone. It doesn't really matter where you're from.
Sure.
So I think that's such an interesting kind of insight. And so my follow-up question to you would be, in that time of your life, because you didn't continue with the career of acting, you chose to do something else. How would you say that impacted the decision to?
I remember clearly. I remember talking to some friends of mine that at the time I remember I was in 4 national commercials. I was doing really well,
Okay.
and I was making good money doing that. And you don't have the burden of product, printing, shipping, storage, you're just going to an audition, you get on TV. If you're good at your job, you might book a few commercials and you can pay your bills and take care of your family.
Okay.
So I was in this place where I was like, I'm doing really well here, but I really want to do this, but I know this because I used to run a record label which involves product, distribution. The hours are kind of brutal. And if you don't realize how brutal the hours are and they're 7 days a week, you can't succeed as an and I didn't have any funding outside of my mum, rest in peace, bless her soul. She gave me the first bit of money to print my first comic book.
Wow.
Which is The Untamed, the very first ever printing. That's how we started. So when we're independent, we're not these independent companies that have Silicon Valley funding. We're indie for real, but our product doesn't look it. So our presentation, hopefully the quality will make you feel like, oh, this is A+ quality. So my acting, the more I got into Stranger Comics, the less auditions I had time to go on.
Okay.
And so now you can do apparently auditions remotely for commercials and things. But back then it was, you could drive across town an hour and a half to get to an audition. There for an hour, then you drive back. There's half your day gone.
Yeah.
And it's between you and 500 people for one role. So, or I could work my ass off to try and make a few bucks in this comic space. And Stranger Comics ended up taking over pretty much my entire life.
Okay. Well, I think it's it's a cool bit of irony that you chose something else, but yet that other thing, the acting, the creation of worlds, kind of never left you. It kind of almost followed you into the comic world. And so I wanted to ask, what was that conversation like, or what was the decision, internal monologue, let's put it like that. What was the internal monologue when you got the phone call that Niobe might be considered to be picked up by a network or by a...
Oh my goodness, yeah, it's super humbling. I mean, over the course of time, Niobe or The Untamed before that, The Untamed was optioned at one point by Film Roman, who did The Simpsons. It was there for a bit. It was optioned by the producer of the original Watchmen movie, and Hellboy, and Boogie Nights. It's been optioned by another producer who does a bunch. It's been optioned, I think, four times, I think, and then The World with Niobe. And then when Niobe came out, lots of offers. Some were terrible, like awful. Some were okay, some were decent, some were really good. But there was oftentimes this, you get excited because someone, it's Hollywood and your thing's going to be on screen and you've been working so hard and you've sacrificed so much. But the realization is, the option is another kind of step in hope, where even when you're optioned, you're still got a very small chance for being made. And so I think I'm in a place now. I mean, when we got with the HBO deal, the deal was amazing. It was all I could have ever wanted. And the unfortunate thing is the gentleman that was the head of drama at HBO, he left not that long, that bought my project, that was obsessed with it, left. So it became, that I was dealing with new people, and a lot of people had different perspectives. And I learned a lot, and I'm super thankful for being there, to having the experience. And I met Prentice Penny, who started developing the show with me there. He was the showrunner for Insecure on HBO, and he and I became great friends. We started a company together to do other projects. So you kind of, they give you an inch and you take a mile, and you just make the most of your opportunities. Whether
Right.
so I think I'm just super thankful. But when that call happened specifically from HBO and we closed the deal
Mm-hmm.
after all the offers and offers where people are trying to like not let me be a part of it or try and like, oh, we got it from here, kid, those types of things. We know better than you, and all you or to hey, you can be involved, but at a distance, and
Mm-hmm.
all those things. Where finally, here I was able to really kind of help sculpt the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it was a very euphoric feeling that wow, this is going to happen, and then when it didn't happen, um, when essentially there was a without going into too much detail, when I knew it wasn't going to happen, um, you kind of have to almost kind of realize if the dream isn't going to happen in this way that you've hoped for and you've worked so hard, and your family's a sacrifice because they haven't got to spend time with you. You've missed kids events, all the things, because you're trying to pay the bills with selling comic books, which is so difficult. um, how do you pick up the pieces again? How do you say, okay, and then you get people in the chats being like, oh, that shit, I knew that was never going to get made, or oh, maybe they weren't even there, and all these things where you're like, and then you go, hey, got a new Naomi comic, and they're like, yeah, but that's not real because you were at HBO, and are you there anymore? And you're like, it's still the same. I'm still
Box.
writing
They're putting
comics.
you back in that box. Right.
Yes, and maybe less than
Yeah.
because you didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
And then so now I'm like, I had Quincy did a post. I had him say this, which is like,
Hey, what's up, Stranger Family? Thank you for all the love. As you can see, we have 12 days to go. So hit that link in the bio and support indie comics as if we're already on TV.
Yeah, I just saw that. Not too. I think it was yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's such a huge um, thing. I don't know if you're familiar with Blurred Station.
yeah, sure, Demetrius.
Demetrius. I mean,
Yeah,
all of you all are groundbreaking, and I'm one person, and the folks that I know, and then the folks that
sure.
we share with. It's like I feel like you guys have made it because honestly.
Well, I think yes. You said something to me earlier, like when
Mm-hmm.
you were reading, what I've done, but you're like, you're going to Africa. I
Yeah.
think it's this, and now I say this to folks. I turn down 99% of offers that come in
Mm-hmm.
because what I don't want to have happen is they make a show, it's whack, and then someone sees my book and they're like, oh, that's that whack shit from that whack show.
Oh no,
And do you know what I'm saying?
no. Yeah,
So just because
yeah.
you're on screen, it could actually, if you're not smart, it could actually devastate your entire publishing.
Right.
So now I've hit this point where I'm like, yeah, I've made it because I'm able 7 days a week work because I'm able to make a living, not a rich living, but I can just about pay my bills and my staff. We're all on very small salary, very small, It looks impressive. Like our Kickstarter's got 80 grand on, which is amazing. But the cost is
Listen.
about, if you want the real truth, that
Mm-hmm.
cost is more like with the artwork, the covers, the printing, the shipping, the international shipping,
Mm-hmm.
probably about 45 grand,
Mm-hmm.
50 grand. So,
Right.
and then I've got, not only do I pay that, I've got staff to pay during those months
Yeah.
and bills and you name it. So, um, that's, it's, you,
It's work, and I think
yeah,
that's a great tie-in because quite often we talk about, you know, being okay with where you are.
yes,
And of course, our show and our concentration is on the actor. As of the last two seasons, we wanted to venture off into the spaces that are not as glamorous or don't get as much shine, and it was on my co-host that I was able to branch out even further into this space, which is
Mm.
just as much of an entertainment space, to speak with you, and especially because you have so many different ties in different parts of the entertainment world.
Right.
it the fact that you're able to be confident, be open enough, and be okay enough to share that, there's hardship in all ventures when you're an entrepreneur,
Right.
is a testament to, in terms of my respect and love for you, is a testament to who you are and why I believe you're so successful, even though it doesn't show in the bank account right now. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. No, I
It,
appreciate that. Yeah,
yeah,
I think I mean it's our 15-year anniversary, so we must be doing something right.
you
You know,
have to be.
we're still ticking, and working with these great artists like Jay Lee, this
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful cover for Niobe on the new Kickstarter as well.
This. That is one of the things that I think is so amazing about art, creativity, and the space that artists get to live in, because there's so many different crossovers, so many different
So,
ways to, you know, allow yourself to have duality in the space of
right.
entertainment, right?
Yeah.
And uh, just the fact that you had an opportunity as an actor to you know put yourself first, right?
Right.
I love the fact that you're always like, no, but it's not really about me,
You're right, 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 for sure.
It's not really about me.
To that note, I think if someone's going to risk $4 on a comic book or $20 on a rare comic, collector comic,
Right.
you have to honor their time
Yeah.
and their investment in you. You have
Mm.
to, otherwise, why are we doing? Are we making comics so that it can be a TV show? No, we're making comics to tell the stories the best way we can.
Right.
I didn't. I'm not. I'm trying to create stories that resonate.
Mm-hmm.
And if it becomes a TV show, amazing. It means more people get to resonate with these stories in a different medium. But if it doesn't, and someone picks up Niobe, and I do something. It's kind of a bit of a writer's thing.
Mm-hmm.
I basically the first line on Niobe Shear's life. I wanted the reader to connect with Niobe right off the bat. So the first line I wrote was, "What haunts you?"
Mm-hmm.
So it's the goddess asking Niobe what haunts you. But the first line you're going to read in Niobe is what haunts you. So you're going to read like what haunts me. Well, what?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking you, the reader, what haunts you. And
Mm-hmm.
as the goddess is asking Niobe, what haunts you? Is it the shadow you cannot run from, or the memory you cannot escape? So blindly you follow the light beyond reach. So basically, my feeling is if I can ask you the same question as the goddess asked Niobe, at that point from page one, you are Niobe. So now
Mm-hmm.
you
Yes.
can you're in her shoes.
So really quickly before I let you go, I
Sure.
want to do one of the things that we always do with our guests, which is just to have a quick little wind down, something fun, maybe not as fun as others like myself. We're going to play a game. It's time to play a game. All right.
Okay.
So as you as our guest, I'm going to try to take it easy on you. Tonight we're only going to do some not multiple choice, but some trivia, some game
Okay.
trivia. I won't make
Okay.
you recite a monologue. I won't make you go back and remember the lines from your audition back when you were doing commercials. But I'm just going to ask you a couple questions
Good.
to see how well you know your movies. All right.
Oh.
So I have some trivia from the 80s and 90s. Hopefully you'll know some of these films. If not, don't worry about it. We won't judge you too harshly, all right? So here we go. This should be a good one to start with. Who directed the 1982 science fiction film Blade Runner?
Oh my goodness, I should know that. It's not Ridley
Yes.
Scott, is it?
Yes, yes,
Is it?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. So let's move right along. Question number 2. In the 1991 film The Silence of the Lambs, what was the name of the incarcerated cannibal who was also known as the diabolical serial killer that haunted Clarice.
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter. Yes, yes. All right, if you didn't know that one,
Yeah, I know, right?
That's also
Right.
also a classic. All right, here we go. This will be the last one for all the marbles.
Okay.
In the 1997 romantic drama Love Jones, who played the lead roles of Darius Lovehall and Nina Mosley?
Lorenz Tate and Nia Long.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I love
Yes,
that
sir.
movie. I was like,
Yes.
oh, so he said Love Jones. I'm like, I'm gonna get it.
Fantastic.
Great soundtrack, Lauryn Hill, Coltrane,
Fantastic
Duke
soundtrack.
Ellington.
I mean, you know.
That's fire. That's
That-
my era right there.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Mine
Yeah.
too, although I was a little bitty baby, probably not supposed to be watching that stuff. Definitely
Classic.
great classic films. Listen, I want to thank you once again, Seb, for being with us this evening. Thank you for allowing us to kind of delve into your world and delve into your mind and your talent in terms of creating and sharing comics and graphic novels with the scale in terms of brand new to the whole concept of comics to the most involved and excited person who goes to all the conventions. You have done an amazing job in your series with Stranger Comics with your company. And I'm grateful to have met you, great to know you. And at this time, I want to give you the floor once again to kind of share just a little more, just a tidbit more. I often like to give gems to those who watch this show. And so I want to give you the floor to share with our audience any gem or any piece of knowledge or that you think is important to share with those of us out there who are kind of inspired but hesitant to pursue a career in creating any kind of world, whether it's in front of the camera, behind, or on a page, because it's all important in creating stories and making a difference in people's lives. So at this time, take the floor.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I think when you're creating anything, it is a scary endeavor. It feels like you're jumping into an ocean and, without a paddle and without, armbands and things. But I think what you've got to do is realize, how many times in the movies do you watch a movie go, oh, I had that idea? Do not wait for the man to write your story. Do not march to the beat of someone else's drum. Tell the stories that you want to tell that nourishes your soul. A friend of mine who's now a big movie star, when we were young and acting in commercials and things, he said to me, "Seb, would you write whether you were paid or not?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." He goes, "Well, what are you worried about then?" He reminded me that it was the craft of the writing and the expression that was basically the actual getting it out of my head, out of my body and soul and onto the page was the reward. And I think nowadays it's a popularity contest. So if you think of like social media and those types of things, people are in too much of a hurry to also get validation with a social media click. So, and forgetting how to honor the craft and remind themselves of why they fell in love with this medium, this craft in the first place. So honor your craft. And social media is a trick too. You think of the word Instagram. How many followers do you have? Who follows you? Are we followers? Are we sheep? Or are we just people? So I wrote a line in Ivy and Dura, and it says, a leader is not measured in followers. It's in the courage they have the demons to face. It's the courage in facing their own demons. Is that? So face your own demons. Do not worry about, followers. Do not worry about social media clicks. Honor your craft, honor yourself, and don't wait for someone else to write your story.
As a true writer and artist, man, that was a beautiful gem. I needed to hear that, okay? So, in wrapping it up, once again, thank you for being here. How can folks find you, find Stranger Comics, find the Untamed, and Niobe.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, you guys can go to strangercomics.com. Go to strangercomics.com. You can get all the goodies, comic books, graphic novels, trade paperbacks, bundle deals, you name it. If you want to jump on the Kickstarter, which I'm going to be bugging Britt right after this to do, all the people go and back the Kickstarter because it lets Hollywood know we have a voice. They are numbers games, people, numbers games, people. So back the Kickstarter, go to strangercomics.com. You'll see a big banner. Even if you back it for $5 and get the digital comic of the new Niobe She Tribe by Robotu Swimbedu, banners there. We also have free digital downloads for the first issue of our 6 books at strangercomics.com. So if you want to check me out, check me out. Go to strangercomics.com, and that's where you'll find all the things. But I said this earlier too, is support indie comics like you talk about wanting to see more indie comics.
Mm-hmm.
People talk a big game about we need this, we need this, we need this. However, if you want to see those indie comics, supporting us allows us to present them for you, to do the damn thing. So your support goes a very long way.
Thank you once again for being here. I'm going to send you off into the evening so you can get you some rest or do whatever you need to do in preparation for all of the great things you got coming up in the latter part of this month. Till the next time we get to see each other, and hopefully it'll be in person next. Have a wonderful night, and thank you once again for being here with us. With that, I want to bid you adieu. Have a good night. Yes. Make sure you go check out Niobe and Untamed, and she is life and death. Bye. Peace.
Peace.
Right, with that, thank you all for tuning in. That was our amazing interview with my good friend Sebastian A. Jones. I want to turn this back over to our lovely co-host on Thursday night, Sam Peoples, B Baby. That's me. And of course, Miss Boss Lady. Have a great night, you all, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Monologue Room. Peace.
Yeah.
Great job, B.
You did
Yay.
good.
Oh,
You
thank
did really, really
you.
good. I
Thank
don't know what you I
y'all.
don't know what you was talking about earlier, but you did a great
You
job.
did
You did a
good.
Oh,
phenomenal job.
Me and you must never part. My
My
team,
team,
da,
da,
da.
da.
y'all too cute. I love y'all so much.
No,
Listen,
you know what?
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead, Burrito.
I know time is winding up. We're getting ready to get off of here in a few minutes, but I just want to say this. Thoroughly enjoyed the interview. You don't hear much from comic writers. I mean, of course, he's a writer and all those good things, but for a comic writer, it's so specific, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we don't hear a lot about them or from them, and it's not in your face all the time. So let's
Yeah.
put it like
Yeah.
that. People that search for it, and that's their niche, of course, they know all the ins and outs, but for someone like me, I'm just so happy to have had him to come on the monologue room, uh, for us to interview him. Well, you to interview him, and him
By
let us
proxy,
in.
all of us.
Yes, for him to let us in on his journey and what took place and what's taking place right now, in regards to his projects. And kudos to him for getting funded within 30 minutes. I mean, 30
Yeah.
minutes or less. That is, I did a Kickstarter, so I already know how it works. And for him to get funded in 30 minutes, that is bravo, bravo,
Yes.
bravo, bravo, bravo. But I loved also, last thing, I love his gems that he left behind for our audience and for us.
Yeah.
Don't wait around for someone to write your story. I love that so much because we always talk about scripts. Always talk about scripts. Oh, I have this
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
and all those things. So I really love that he said that, and he also said that leaders are not measured in followers. And so if you're out there and you're on Instagram and you feel like you need to have a certain amount of followers and all that to make you who you want to be and who you
Mhm.
really are already,
Mhm.
Yeah, you
that's
got
silly.
people buying followers.
That's crazy. That's not.
You know,
But
It's
anywho,
not
I
normal.
enjoyed it.
Okay.
I
Well,
enjoyed
that's
it.
fantastic. Like
Yeah.
I said off camera or before we got on,
I bought a
you know.
couple.
Don't be telling them the secrets.
I'm,
Shh.
I'm joking, y'all.
But um, you know, I mentioned you during the interview with Seb that you were a part of the inspiration to kind of venture out into a new landscape that is included in the entertainment world. And I am so grateful to you for that because I'm learning. My world is expanding. Things that I thought were not connected are becoming so clearly in a
Yeah.
major way interconnected, and
Yeah.
it's amazing to have something that was not a part of it was like a hobby, like it was a side thing, but then to find
Yeah.
out that he's had connections with Amanda Steinberg. I mean,
I
she's a big
know.
name. I mean, Viola Davis, she just got an
And
EGOT recently, and now Seb is working with new artists, new creatives, new actors and actresses. One of the pieces of information I didn't get to include in this interview because we talked for a long time.
yeah.
If y'all don't know yet, we all are talkers, but
Yeah.
me, I will admit, I'm a talker.
Yeah.
But he's also
Now
working
it's
with
done.
he's also working with the young lady from American Gods. She's also going to be a part of the new Niobe series. So I mean, and then he's been doing this for 15 years.
That's a long time. Talk about
He's
dedication.
talk about
When God is giving you
say
something
it.
or it's in you
That's
and
right.
God has given it to you, that's why we're still here.
Yeah.
Like God gave me the monologue room in 2012 before I
Mhm.
was even done with my theater degree. Like it
Right.
had already been placed and set,
Right.
right? So to hear him say he's been going for 15 years, it was encouraging to hear him say that. And that said to me, keep going, right?
Yes.
Just keep at it, right?
Yes.
So that was encouraging to hear him, say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And to something you were also saying is, know that no matter what, it's for you. It's your expression. If
yeah,
no one ever picks it up, if no one ever looks at it or, says, "Oh, I like this." That's
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
That's okay too.
right.
It's
And to
not
be
for them. It's for you.
right, and to be frankly, like like parents, right?
Mhm.
We have our meetings behind the scenes, and I'm kind of letting you guys in, and we have these talks, right? And I'm like, it's the numbers, it's the numbers, it's the numbers, it's the numbers, it's the numbers. I'm looking for the numbers, right?
Mhm.
And I have to be careful of that because the people that we do have watching are here.
Yeah.
And I have to acknowledge that, right? And so, yeah, that hit me. Like yeah, leaders are not measured in followers, and so that's really gonna stick with me for a very long time. But
Good.
yeah, he yeah, I can't wait to see the entire video. I mean, the
Okay.
entire interview.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right, y'all. Listen.
Oh, we watching
Uh
it again.
we had an amazing night. We
we had
started
a
off rocky,
time.
but hey,
Start off
I
rocky.
love I love when the ride starts off bumpy and then it go
Right,
real smooth when you land.
right,
That's all that matters.
It's like
right.
the plane. Once you
Yeah.
flying over a little, once you get over the little turbulence, get
Mhm.
past the
Right.
storm,
And then you
it's
start,
smooth sailing.
smooth sailing. Yeah. Now we're
Hallelujah.
here, and now
Absolutely.
we're gone. We're about to be
Right.
gone,
We
y'all.
about to be gone, y'all. So as always, listen, we're gonna get out of here, folks. We want to thank
I
you
love
so
y'all.
much for tuning in,
Love you too.
sticking with us. Hopefully you enjoyed what we had to offer tonight in terms of our current industry news, our sidebar commentary, and even our interview with our special guest Sebastian Jones,
Yes.
creator and co-author of Niobe She Is Life and CEO of Stranger Comics.
Yes.
Yes. He
Please
better be
check him out.
CEO.
Check out his page, strangercomics.com. His Kickstarter is going on right now. I think they have 10 days left to go.
Mhm.
I am a fan, so I'm not afraid to say, I got comics. I keep them on me. I keep them on me.
You know what?
Um,
I'm gonna go back on Kickstarter. I'm going back on Kickstarter.
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna put the live show for the monologue room so we can get back into the theaters
yeah, yes,
Yes.
so we
yes,
can have our live show.
That'll be
absolutely.
amazing.
He encouraged me. Okay.
And that's what it's
See?
really
Won't
all
he do
about.
it?
That's really what it's all about.
Yes, he will.
Won't
Unless
he do
someone
it?
is out there that has a theater and you're not doing anything with it,
You-
I would love for you to donate it to the monologue room to us so that we can carry on in this, industry of ours so we can do our due, you know?
absolutely.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
rent it out. We'll rent it out. But
Yes,
anyway,
yes, ma'am. So, we're gonna wrap it up. We've already said our closing remarks. I just wanted to, as we always do, make sure y'all know our socials. Listen, go on to our email, Brown Girl Productions with the S on the end,
Brown.
79.
Not
Brown,
around.
Brown.
Brown.
I thought I
That's
heard
why I
round.
love y'all. Y'all don't forget I got these TVs in, so it makes it hard for me to say certain letters. Brown
Brown.
Girl
Yes.
Productions 79. It's at the bottom of the screen. You can email us anytime if you have content, if you have a question, if you just want to, be friends. That's fine too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. We're
Reach out
here.
to us on our email, and that's us as a collective, the Monologue Room Live, or the Monologue Room Live video podcast. You can follow my fearless leader, Miss Marina Monet,
That's my girl.
at Marina Monet on social media.
Yes.
You can find our handsome man of the hour, the man
Woo!
who keeps us safe in these internet streets,
Hey.
Mr. Samuel Peoples, at one
Hey.
great guy 10 underscore 31. That's one,
Yes.
number one,
Yes.
GR, the number 8, guy, GUY,
There you
number
go.
10 underscore 31. I got it, y'all.
You got
Yes,
it.
baby.
And you can follow me at
Be
Nicole
baby.
B
Nicole.
baby Nicole at Nicole
M.
MK underscore GM23.
GM23.
That's
Baby.
Hey.
me. So please
Hey.
find us and follow us on all social media platforms. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know if you have some interesting stuff to share you want us to talk about on the next episode of the podcast. We
Yep.
are all ears. And we
We
are
are all
all
ears.
talk. We love to
Yes.
talk. So
Yes, we
give
do.
it to us. All right. So at this time, I want to wish you all a lovely, lovely evening. Happy
up.
Thursday night. Be safe this weekend. Take
I'm
care.
going to bed.
Love your family. Love yourselves. And we'll see you on the next episode of the
I love
Monologue
y'all.
Room. Love y'all.
Love
Bye, y'all.
ya.
Tune into the next episode.
Please,
And
please,
you'll
like,
see who our
share,
guest star is. The
follow.
next guest is right now. Good night,
Yes.
y'all. Peace.
Love you.